Test, 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 test. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Westby and Fennimore for a trip to state coming up on Super Hits 106 and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel.
It's Johnny Page.
Misery really does love company, though.
This is a Queen Bee Radio High
That's
School
probably why
sports
this show is as popular as it is.
Weekday afternoons from 3 till 7 on Dubuque Super Hits 106.
Queen Bee Radio proudly brings you People's State Bank and Grant Regional Health Center coverage of high school sports. Presented by Cuba City, Kieler, and Darlington Family Dental and Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors. And sponsored by Baus Electric, Brian's Auto Body and Paint, Bytech Incorporated, Carver's Hardwood Flooring, Claire Bank, Donnie's Tire and Auto, Fuller's Milker Center, Gary's Pest Control, Community First Bank, Guy's Truck and Tractor Service, Hernson's Ace Hardware, Krantz Auto Parts, the Peterson Agency, the Raleigh Cheese House, Mound City Bank, the Russell Law Office, the Shoebox, Sloan Implement, Timmerman's Talents, Tricor Insurance, and Wolf Construction.
We interrupt Johnny Page to bring you two teams, only one of which will go to state. Good afternoon, baseball fans, and welcome back to high school baseball, WIA playoff baseball on Super Hits 106, superhits106.com, and the Super Hits 106 mobile app, and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel, powered by Tim Slack Auction Realty and H&M Plumbing, Heating, and Electrical. From Merchants Field in Osseo, this is the Osseo Fairchild Sectional Semifinal. The Westby Norsemen against the Fennimore Golden Eagles, the number one seeds in each half of this Osseo Fairchild Sectional. The winner, simply put, goes to state at Fox City Stadium next Tuesday. From the Wolf Construction broadcast booth, I'm Steve Prestigard, and you heard the song Total Eclipse of the Heart before we came over here. You could call these first two games Total Eclipse of the Hitting. Westby beat Mondovi 2-0, and it was a tremendous pitching performance by their number one pitcher, Devin Nedland, who came into the game with an ERA of .12, and he was 8-0. Now he is 9-0, and Nedland also had the two-run triple, and I believe it was the third inning that was the difference, the only runs in the game. Of course, Cuba City or Fennimore, in beating Cuba City, they certainly could not complain about their pitching. Tyson Starkey went 7 innings, and then Casey Drayson came in and managed to get out of a jam in the top of the 8th inning, and then Tyson Starkey with an RBI single after Yanni Filardo led off with a double down the right field line, and the winning run ended up scoring in a ball game in which the Eagles managed to strand 11 Cuba City base runners without allowing a single one of them to come in. And again, whoever wins the game today ends up going to state. On the Shoebox Scoreboard, presented by the Shoebox in Black Earth, the largest independent shoe store in the Midwest, we have another sectional final game going on right now, which I have to find. That is Highland and Pittsville up at Blair Taylor, and that is on 97.7 Country WGLR. Highland a winner over Boscobel 2-1, and Blair Taylor losing to Pittsville 2-1. And meanwhile, also the Belmont season is over. The Braves lose to Johnson Creek 8-4 at Oakfield, and that game was on X1071. When we return, the Raleigh Cheese pregame show presented by Raleigh Cheese at the intersection of Highways 11 and 23 in the heart of Lafayette County. Don't forget the cheese. We're back in 60 seconds on Super Hits 106.
Pregame 1.
Hello, Dr. Matt here from Cuba City Family Dental. Something we take pride in is having 3 state-of-the-art facilities in Cuba City, Kieler, and Darlington. Our investment in the latest technology and innovative services allows us to provide top-notch dental care to our area families. Take control of your oral health and make an appointment with our team, and let's make your smile the best it can be. Contact Cuba City, Darlington, and Kieler Family Dental now, and let's start this journey together. Keep smiling, Tri-States.
This is Nick at Dolan Jewelers telling all you guys out there, seize this opportunity and head on over to Dolan Jewelers today. Surprise your partner with a stunning engagement ring and grab a free Yeti cooler to make every moment of your journey together unforgettable. That's right, with an engagement ring or upgrade, you will receive a free Yeti cooler. It's time to make a commitment and chill like never before with Dolan Jewelers, where love and coolness meet.
Pregame 1.
On Super Hits 106, Fennimore and Westby, the 2 number 1 seeds for a trip to state. We're joined by Westby coach John Hamilton. Thanks for joining us. Congratulations on getting there. You have a lot of experience at this level. This is the gut-buster game, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. We've had 2 great games here today. I mean, definitely been dominated by pitching, as you can see by the run production. But, yeah, it's been a fun day, and it's, I guess, kind of lived up to everything you expect a sectional to be.
Yeah, definitely. Talk about your game. First off, your pitcher who has a microscopic ERA, he did what you wanted him to do, right?
Yeah, I mean, Devin's had a great year, and obviously, we needed another performance out of him like that today, and we got it. We knew Mondovi was a team that scored a lot of runs, and they had a strong hitting lineup. But, we feel good when Devin gets out there. I mean, usually in command, and he did a great job. He worked out of some jams today a little bit, and obviously offensively he helped us out too, and he had the 2-run triple. So he had a good day for us and gave us a chance to get one step closer. Okay, so now it's Fennimore. You just watched that game, obviously. What do you think from what you have seen? What do you feel like you have to do today? Yeah, I mean, we're going to have to throw strikes, and not too good of strikes because we know they can hit. We're familiar with Fennimore. We played them earlier in the year in our home tournament in a close game, and they're a good offensive team, and they're confident, and they're going to have good pitchers out there. I know they got a couple good pitchers left. So for us, we've got to throw strikes, and we got to throw pitcher strikes. Defensively we got to make plays, and then offensively we got to just execute. It's a little bit of everything. But we know they're good, and we're going to have to play well to beat them.
All right, thanks a lot and good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you, John Hamilton, Westby coach. More after this on Super Hits 106.
Pregame 2.
Get ready, car lovers. It's Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors Car Show and Customer Appreciation Day, Saturday, June 14th from 10:30 to 2:30 in Prairie du Chien. Stop by Carey's for an afternoon of awesome cars, food and drinks, door prizes, and fun for the whole family. No trophies, no judging, no pressure. Just good times and great rides. That's Saturday, June 14th at Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors, Highway 18 in Prairie du Chien.
Dear Diary, this is Veronica from the Bell Tower Theater's Heather the Musical Teen Edition. My story is based on the cult classic movie and is a deliciously dark comedy about high school in the 80s. Featuring area high school students, Heather's the Musical Teen Edition runs from June 13th to the 22nd. Tickets are just $15. To see me, JD, and all of the Heathers, call 563-588-3377 or visit belltowertheater.net. Thanks to the Iowa Arts Council and Tyson's for their support.
Pregame 2.
Raleigh Cheese pregame show on Super Hits 106. Sectional final. Fennimore and Westby for a trip to state. We're joined by Brent Scheckler, the Fennimore coach. Thanks for joining us. Let's talk first about the first game. You had only 3 hits, but you maximized 2 of them.
Yeah, that was something. That's a pitcher's duel to the tee, and I'm going to be honest, I still don't know how we escaped out of that. I mean, Cuba had runners at second and third 4 or 5 times in that game, with I think 1 time with nobody out. And, I got 3 studs, and I could throw any of them. And I gave Tyson Starkey that game because he'd thrown 11 scoreless against Cuba this year. And now he's thrown 18, and he's a senior, and he's just been the man all this year. And, he proved it today. He was phenomenal. Got all the strikeouts when we needed them.
Yeah, and then at the bottom of the 8th, Falardo's been kind of a 8th hitter, but he had the 4 RBIs against Lancaster, and now he gets, of all things, a double in the 8th inning, and it comes around to score.
Yeah, Gianni might not be the biggest guy on the field, but that kid's got more heart more grit than anybody I think I have ever coached. He's our only freshman. He started off a little slower this year, but he's just so athletic, and he's so quick, and he's so gritty, and he is really, really starting to catch on. And he just doesn't show any signs of nerves. And, he went out there, and he had hit the ball square a few times, so we knew there was a chance he might get on. And, he just flies on the bases. So I'm so happy for him. That was a huge moment.
All right, so you played Westby earlier, lost them 3-2, and you saw what their pitching is like. What do you feel like you have to do today?
We hit the ball actually really well off of Tyson Richard, who pitched a great game, but we did square it up well. And I think we're going to see Rudy, who we saw up in Westby, and we hit him pretty well. We had 8 hits against them. We just didn't play clean D. We should have won that game. And John's a good friend of mine, their coach, and I'm just excited that we get to play against each other because it's been my first time ever sectionals was against these guys.
Okay. All right. Well, good luck this afternoon.
Thanks, Steve.
Brent Scheckler, the Fennimore coach. We will be back with Fennimore and Westby for a trip to state after these messages on Super Hits 106.
Pregame 3.
Are high bank fees draining your wallet? It's time for a change.
At People's State Bank, they believe in low fees that put you first.
Tired of being charged for using your debit card, sneaky paper statement fees, or monthly maintenance fees?
With People's State Bank's People's Checking Account, those fees are a thing of the past.
Worried about ATM fees?
At People's State Bank, they reimburse you for up to 3 ATM fees per month. They work hard to keep your money where it belongs, in your pocket.
Make the switch to People's State Bank today. Visit a branch near you or peoplesfinancial.com. Member FDIC.
Hi, this is Will Dunson with Dubuque Mattress. Why is a Dubuque Mattress customer a customer for life? It's simple. At Dubuque Mattress, the customer is number 1. Period. The customer's happiness is the most important thing. If there is anything I can do to help you sleep better, I will. Whether it's while you're looking at a new mattress, 6 months later, or 10 years after you've purchased from us, you are still number 1.
Dubuque Mattress Factory, you get a little snooze time.
Pregame 3.
Our injury report brought to you by Russell Law Offices. If you've been injured, contact Russell Law Offices. Their experienced team of personal injury lawyers will fight for your rights and help you get the compensation you deserve. Visit RussellLawWI.com. Well, whoever was available for the first game is obviously available for the second game. The 2 pitchers are not, as far as being pitchers. Devin Nedland went all the way for Westby. And for Fennimore, Tyson Starkey went 7 innings. Casey Drayson pitched the 8th and got the win. Colors of the game presented by Cuba City Family Dental, Kieler Family Dental, and Darlington Family Dental. 3 convenient locations to serve your dental needs. And as before, Fennimore in the maroon jerseys, white pants, white numbers trimmed in gold. Westby, the Norsemen, wearing red jerseys, white pants, and white numbers and trim. They would look like the Wisconsin Badgers if the Wisconsin Badgers had a baseball team anymore. All right, well, I should say a varsity baseball team anymore. They do have a club, I guess. Shoebox Scoreboard presented by the Shoebox in Black Earth, the largest independent shoe store in the Midwest. And as we mentioned before, Mondovi losing to Westby 2-0, so obviously this winner goes to state. In the Kohler sectional, earlier today, Fond du Lac Springs and Cedar Grove, Belgium, Lake Country Lutheran and Kenosha St. Joseph. We don't have any results, unfortunately. In the Chilton sectional, Oconto and Wittenberg, Burnham Wood, and then Kewanee and Chilton. And in the Augusta sectional, Barron and Spooner, and then Marathon and Elk Mound. Who was the only team, well, they ended up beating Westby twice earlier this, or actually Mondovi twice earlier this season. And now my stuff is out of order because I had like 5 seconds to get ready for this game. But we will press on regardless. Our game brought to you by Mound City Bank. Their total line of credit allows you to use the equity in your home to do the things you want. Stop in at Mound City Bank to apply. Offer subject to approval. Member FDIC and an equal housing lender. Learn more at MoundCityBank.com. We have a score already on the Shoebox Scoreboard presented by the Shoebox in Black Earth, the largest independent shoe store in the Midwest. In Pittsville, 5-0 over Highland in the first. And that is on 97.7 Country WGLR. Our game today brought to you by Midwest Builders Incorporated in Fennimore, specializing in commercial and light industrial construction, building lasting relationships in the tri-state area since 1992. Midwest Builders Incorporated in Fennimore. Interested in braces or clear aligners? Summer is the perfect time to start your smile transformation. Denlinger Orthodontics in Platteville offers complimentary consultations and specializes in orthodontic treatment for kids, teens, and adults. Denlinger Orthodontics in Platteville, 608-348-9777. Subs.com also bringing you the game today. Fuel your fitness journey with a wide selection of products from a locally owned company. Visit their Fennimore, Dubuque, and Platteville locations and subs.com. Our game also brought to you by Veterinary Associates, Hazel Green and Galena. Visit vetassociatesgalena.com and check out their online store at myvetstoreonline.com. Veterinary Associates, Hazel Green and Galena. Ritchie Implement and Comp, Barneville, Darlington, and Lancaster. See your inventory and employment opportunities at ritchiesinc.com. The Larson Family Funeral Home and the Summer Larson Funeral Home have dedicated themselves to the highest level of personal services that only a family-owned and operated funeral home can provide. Larson Family Funeral Home, Fennimore, and the Soman Larson Funeral Home in Montfort. Our game also brought to you by Wood Law Office, serving you in Fennimore and Boscobel, providing Grant County estate planning, elder law, probate, business law, real estate, and municipal law. Call Ben at Wood Law Office, Fennimore and Boscobel. Community First Bank, for you in the communities where you live, work, and play. Experience for yourself the difference at Community First Bank. CFBank.com, member FDIC. Fennimore won the coin toss, so they will be the home team today. Of course, when you have two teams that are the same seed, you got to decide one way or another. And the fact that Westby beat Fennimore 3-2 in the regular season is irrelevant in this particular case, as it should be. That game, by the way, was back on May 3rd, and that was a triangular, or that was a tournament, I should say. Westby, their only losses, 2-1 to Arcadia on April 14th, 13-9 to Bangor back on April 15th, and to Lewiston of Minnesota, 4-3 back on May 17th. Fennimore's only losses this year, as mentioned, they lost to Westby 3-2. They also lost to Cambridge 9-2 on May 17th. I believe that game was in Dodgeville. And then they lost their next to last regular season game to Barneveld 6-2. So Fennimore is now 24-3, and Westby is 24-5. I think we'll take one more break and come right back with Westby and Fennimore for a trip to state after these messages on Super Hits 106.
In game one.
When you're faced with a challenge, how you respond determines the real winners. Rural Mutual believes there's something more important than winning a game. They believe that the team, school, and fans who support their athletes with dignity and class are the true champions. Rural Mutual is the proud sponsor of the WIAA Rural Mutual Insurance Sportsmanship Award since 1965. The award recognizes that sportsmanship matters in your community. Visit ruralmutual.com/WIAA and see how their team and your community can work together to be true champions.
Come on over to Adventureland. You're gonna have a fun day.
Come on over for our most thrilling season yet and enjoy 2 parks for one price, Adventureland and Adventure Bay. Experience new Hyperlight, the water slide with vivid light and sound, plus special events and new entertainment all season. Find best deals on tickets at AdventurelandResort.com.
You're gonna love it at Adventureland.
In Game 1.
Time for the starting lineups presented by Fuller's Milker Center. See Fuller's complete hygiene line and options for a brand new dairy setup or existing parlor remodel. Fuller's in Lancaster and Richland Center at a FullersMilkerCenter.com. As mentioned, Westby will be the home team. Fennimore will be the home team, so Westby will start, and this is their starting lineup. Griffin Nelson, the shortstop, will lead off. Gavin Larson, the left fielder, will bat second. Hitting third, Devin Nedland in center field. The cleanup batter is Grady Evenstad, the designated hitter, and he will bat, I should say, for Kieler Rudy, who is the third baseman today. Ben Rothel, the catcher, will bat fifth. The pitcher is Beckett Brugan, and he will bat sixth. Batting seventh is Everett Hoven, the second baseman. Batting eighth, Chase Quellhorst, the right fielder. And batting ninth is Micah Larson, and he is the second baseman. Defensively, for Fennimore in left field, Peyton Chappell, the center fielder, is Jude Kinney. And in right field, Casey Drayson. Sean Yockey Fiedler is at third base. Tyson Starkey is at shortstop. Johnny Filardo is the second baseman. Corey Dreesen is at first base. Behind the plate is McCoy Miles, and on the mound, Ethan Scheckler, a senior. 6-0, 3-3 in saves, 152 ERA, 1.12 whip, walks plus hits per innings pitched. He's pitched in 13 games, 46 innings, given up 17 hits, 13 runs, 10 earned, 30 walks, and 81 strikeouts today, and he was the winning pitcher in the Golden Eagles regional final win over New Glarus, 4-2, back on Thursday, and now our national anthem. That is not our national anthem. Our national anthem at Merchants Field in Osseo. Jesse's Girl is not our national anthem, and I'm pretty sure it's not the Australian national anthem either. Rick Springfield, of course, being from Australia, as I think everybody listening here on Super Hits 106 already knows. Let's see here. Our game today brought to you by the Butcher Shop in Fennimore, offering top quality beef, pork, and chicken to fill your freezers. Short on time? Don't forget the heat and serve barbecue beef and pork for great tasting meals. The Butcher Shop in Fennimore. Scheckler was, as mentioned, Ethan Scheckler on the mound. He was the winning pitcher. He gave up only 2 runs, which were in the top of the 4th inning to New Glarus. And, of course, Fennimore had an immediate answer with 2 runs in the bottom of the 4th inning, then got a run in the 5th and a run in the 6th to beat the Glarner Knights. And so he also, in fact, last week, in addition to that, he got the save in the 9-8 win the night before in beating Lancaster in the regional semifinal game as well. Our game today brought to you by Schneidl's Heating and Cooling, your local Daikin dealer. Call Bradley Schneider for heating, ventilating, and air conditioning service from Schneidl's Heating and Cooling in Bloomington. Papa Murphy's in Platteville and Prairie du Chien. Experience love at 425 degrees. And attention, it's $12 Tuesday right now. Now, buy a large pizza with up to 5 toppings for just $12 every Tuesday at Papa Murphy's in Platteville and Prairie du Chien. Order online at papamurphys.com. Griffin Nelson leads off for Westby, batting .253, 693 OPS with 17 RBIs this season. Again, the winner goes to state. Fennimore has never been to state, of course. Westby has on a couple of instances, and the first pitch from Scheckler is a called strike. And this is the point. If I didn't just drop a clipboard on the floor, I would tell you the last time they were at state. The next pitch is hit behind the first baseline and drops foul, a Cuba City collision and repair foul ball. Westby got to state in 1984, beating them in the semifinal. 1997, this had to be about the wildest state game ever. They got beat in the championship game by Hortonville 20-12 in 8 innings. That pitch is outside. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. And most recently, 2013, they beat Deerfield 2-1, but lost to Ocado 4-3. John Hamilton, the 28-year head coach, was the coach of all of those state teams. 2 balls and 2 strikes. John Hamilton, 28 seasons, just went over the 400 win mark earlier this season. And the 2-2 pitch, high, ball 3. 3 balls, 2 strikes. And here is Scheckler's pitch, and that's outside, ball 4. So Nelson, the first base runner for Westby.
Next up, the left fielder, number 6, Gavin Larson.
Nelson with 17 stolen bases. Gavin Larson, 379 batting average, 988 OPS with 21 RBI. And we'll see if they are thinking about playing for 1 run. First pitch is outside for ball 1. Of course, 1 run was all Fennimore got. And Westby got 2, so a pair of shutouts in the sectional semifinal games here. There's the bunt, and it's back to third, or taken by the third baseman, Yaki Fiedler, who throws to first for the first out, and Nelson does indeed get to second. Here's Devin Nedlund, a .422 batting average, 1.089 OPS with 23 RBIs, and he drove in the 2 runs with a triple in the 3rd inning of Westby's sectional semifinal win, 2-0. He's a lefty, and he takes ball 1. Merchants Field in Osseo. Great place to have this. There's a called strike, 1-1. The ballpark, 325 down the lines, 385 to center, a west-east orientation, which is like Yankee Stadium, by the way. That is pop foul down the left field line. Cuba City collision and repair foul ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Great hitter's backdrop. A bunch of trees out in the outfield. All the way between left center and the right field line. 1-2. Outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Of course, getting here is a little challenging, not just because of the distance, but there's road construction going on Highway 10. There's a ground ball to short, and Filardo over to first in time. And going over to third on a delayed move over to third is Nelson, so he's at third. And 2 away.
Next up, the DH, number 11, Grady Evenstad.
Here's Grady Evenstad, 300 batting average, 835 OPS with 2 home runs and 19 RBI. No score, 2 out, top of the first, and a swing and a miss by Evenstad. For strike 1, Tim Slack Auction Realty, sponsoring our Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. He has buyers looking for agricultural, commercial, and residential properties. Another strike, 0-2. If you've been considering selling, call Tim, Kathy, Chase, and their staff today. Tim Slack Auction Realty, Fennimore, and Lancaster. The 0-2 pitch, well outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and a nice stop by Miles there. Anderson Webb returned to Dubuque, powering our audio stream. Anderson Webb returned to Dubuque when you are ready. 1-2 with 2 out, runner at third. Outside, 2-2. Two and 2 with 2 away. And it's called strike 3 on the outside corner. And that ends the inning. 1 walk, 1 left.
For Sheckler is 18.
Bottom of the first coming up, no score on Super Hits 106.
In game 2.
Like any business, success in dairying is often determined by who you know rather than what you know. That's why it's good to know the pros at Fuller's, your Gia dealer. Fuller's is your source for the hygiene brand of products, as well as other dairy hygiene products. Make your operation more efficient and profitable, and get the most out of your dairy herd by partnering with the experts at Fuller's Milker Center, LLC, your local Gia dealer in Lancaster, Richland Center, and FullersMilkerCenter.com.
Tri-state thunderstorms can bring winds, rain, and hail, some of the damage you may not even see. Bel Air Home Restoration is a local family-owned company that's been serving the tri-state since 1955. Let them repair or replace areas hit by hail, and they'll even deal with your insurance company. They'll get you done quickly. 3 weeks from signing a contract, they'll be on your roof getting it done. Call Bel Air Home Restoration today for an appointment at 608-348-2381, or check them out online at belairhomerestoration.com or Facebook.
In game 2.
Starting lineups presented by Fuller's Milker Center. See Fuller's complete hygiene line and options for a brand new dairy setup or existing parlor remodel. Fuller's in Lancaster at FullersMilkerCenter.com. Fuller's Lancaster and Richland Center at FullersMilkerCenter.com. Tyson Starkey, the shortstop, leads off. Sean Yaki Fiedler, the third baseman, bats second. Ethan Sheckler pitching today and batting third. McCoy Miles catching this afternoon and hitting cleanup. First pitch is inside for ball 1. Starkey this year, 402 batting average, 896 OPS with 11 RBIs. Had the game-winning base hit. That pitch behind him. And it's 2 balls and no strikes. The rest of the lineup, Casey Drayson at first base, bats 5th. Corey Drayson in right field, bats 6th. Brock Henkel, the designated hitter for Peyton Chappell, the left fielder. Johnny Filardo at second base, bats 8th. There's a called strike. And batting 9th, Jude Kinney, the center fielder. Beckett Bruggen, a senior, is the pitcher, and a swing and miss is 2-2. Bruggen this season, 6-1, 160 earned run average, 103 OPS. He's pitched in 7 games, 35 innings, and there's a hard hit ball to short, but fielding successfully, and the throw to first in time, 1 out. That was Nelson making the put out, or making the assist, I should say.
Next up, the third baseman.
Here's Sean Yaki Fiedler, 384 batting average, 966 OPS with 8 RBIs. Bruggen pitched in 7 7 games, 35 innings pitched, 17 hits, 14 runs, 8 earned, walked 19, struck out 38. And that's a slow hit ball down the first baseline, and the toss from Brogan to first baseman Everett Hoven in time. 2 out quickly. Here's Ethan Scheckler. 405 batting average, 1189 OPS, 2 home runs, and 24 RBIs. The rest of the defense for Westby. First pitch pop foul for strike 1. Ben Rothel is behind the plate. Over third base, Kalen Rudy. Griffin Nelson at short. And that is hit well to left center field. Will drop for a base hit. First hit of the game. And Scheckler aboard at first until his courtesy runner comes out. And that will be Brody Roth, I believe.
Courtesy runner number 34, Brody Roth.
And it is. Michael Larson is at second base. Hoven is at first. Griffin Nelson in left. Nedlund is in center. And Quellhorst is in right field. And here's McCoy Miles, 297 batting average, 754 OPS with 14 RBI. Okay, so people in Grant County know, of course, that if it's spelled R-O-T-H, it's probably Roth. Might remember on Thursday there were 2 players, there's a throwback to first, there were 2 players for New Glarus, same spelling, their names were pronounced Rote, R-O-T-E. And yes, there was not a single Roth to be found anyplace. To the plate, fouled off. One ball, 1 strike, 2 outs, bottom of the first, and no score. And if this game ends like there's a throwback to first, if this game, given the pitching matchup, if this game ends up like the either sectional semifinal, nobody's going to be surprised. These are teams with great and deep pitching staffs. 1-1 pitch in the dirt. That's a called strike. So it's 1-2, but getting to second is Roth. Not sure if that was a wild pitch or a stolen base there, but he's at second. And the count 1-2 with 2 out. 2 balls and 2 strikes on a pitch that was low and outside. Great Regional Health Center's ortho team, Dr. Brad Binsfeld and Nate Stocco PEC, provide exceptional care for sports-related injuries. Great Regional Health Center, better health starts here. That's fouled off at the plate. 2-2. Anderson Laboratory in Dubuque powering our audio stream. Anderson Laboratory in Dubuque when you are ready. Subway in Fennimore offers delicious subs with fresh baked bread with tasty proteins available both in bowls and sub sandwiches. Subway in Fennimore. 2-2 pitch. Called strike 3, and that's the inning. Miles is retired. Fennimore is retired. 1 hit, 1 left.
Pitch count for Brigham is 14.
After 1, nothing. Westby and Fennimore on Super Hits 106.
In Game 3.
Hi, this is Christine Rowley of Rowley Cheese, wishing all area athletes successful seasons. Cheese is a great source of protein for school lunches or a snack before the big game. Stop in and try some of our award-winning artisan cheeses like Dunbarton Blue, Red Rock, and Little Mountain. We have fresh cheese curds weekly and a wide variety of snacks and beverages, plus made-to-order cheese trays. Shop locally and taste the difference of handmade Wisconsin cheese at Raleigh Cheese House on the corner of Highways 11 and 23, Shellsburg.
Are you feeling icky or feeling yucky or just feeling off kilter?
Let Crescent Quick Care help you fix that feeling. Crescent Quick Care combines high-quality clinical expertise with convenience to help you with serious but not life-threatening conditions. Crescent Quick Care is available Monday through Fridays with no appointment needed. Learn more by visiting crescentchc.org and hit the Our Services tab. Crescent Quick Care, a part of Crescent Community Health Center in Dubuque.
In Game 3.
Second inning at Merchants Field in Osseo, not Amro. No score. Our game today brought to you by Hermson's Ace Hardware and Home Center in Bloomington and Hermson's Ace Hardware at the bottom of Main Street in Platteville. See Hermson's for the perfect paint for your next project. Hermson's Ace Hardware, Bloomington and Platteville. And Claire Bank with our 8 convenient locations in Southwest Wisconsin. Proud to support our community events. Claire Bank, where they say we can do that, member FDIC, and equal housing lender. Ben Rathel, I think I said Rothel, but it's Rathel. The catcher leads off, 354 batting average, 870 OPS with 19 RBIs. Ethan Scheckler threw 18 pitches in inning number 1, and pitch number 19 is a called strike. Russell Law Offices here to assist as your local legal representation with locations across southern Wisconsin, including their new Platteville location coming in July. That's a ball, 1 ball and 1 strike. Brian's Auto Body and Paint Specialist. The pros at Brian's get the job done right for unexpected dings or major repair projects. Head to Brian's Auto Body and Paint in Lancaster. That pitch is outside. Got away from Miles, but nobody aboard. 2 balls and a strike. Swing and a miss. 2 balls and 2 strikes. McNett Electric in Belmont can assist you with all your electrical needs. Chip and his crew at McNett Electric are on call array to help you with your agricultural, business, and commercial needs. McNett Electric in Belmont. The 2-2 pitch. Outside corner missed, and it's 3-2. CJ ATM Service. See Chuck Schneering for all your business and large-scale event ATM needs. Find CJ ATM Service on Facebook to learn more. CJ ATM Service in Platteville. 4-3 ground out, 1 away. Here is
pitcher number 5, Beckett
Bruggen, 275 batting average, 683 OPS with 18 RBIs. Now the first pitch, a called strike. Tim Slack Auction Realty, whether buying or selling, call Tim, Kathy, Chase, and their staff today. Tim Slack Auction Realty, Lancaster and Fennimore. That bounces up there, 1 ball, 1 strike. Tim Slack Auction Realty, our YouTube channel sponsor, along with H&M Plumbing, Heating, Electrical. Justin Washburn, the H&M Plumbing, Heating, Electrical team continue to provide top-quality plumbing, heating, electrical services for your business, home, and farm. Call strike 1 and 1. H&M Plumbing, Heating, Electrical, serving you in Fennimore, Lancaster, and Boscobel. Swing and a miss, and that's strike 3. 2 away in the second inning. Here is Everett Hoven, the first baseman, batting .254 with 10 RBIs. OPS of 701. Swing and a miss for strike 1. Hoven, a left-handed batter. Breckler Insurance for auto, business, farm, home, health, and life insurance. See Stable and Dusgate, Breckler Insurance in Fennimore. Breckler Insurance serving Southwest Wisconsin for over 95 years. Well, as the ball gets away on a ball, you can tell that today is a big day for a trip to go to state. 2 strikes, 2 out, because Nate Byer from GX3 Media is here. Inside 1 and 2. Among other things, he's impossible to miss, because at any time of year almost, he'll be wearing sandals and shorts, and of course, the big hair. A really, really quality sports photographer. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Scheckler pitches a 1-2-3 second inning after 1.5, no score on Super Hits 106.
In Game 4.
From small town businesses to large multi-state operations, Tricor Insurance and Auto Owners Insurance have industry expertise that can cover all types of businesses.
Having an insurance agency that understands our business is a real benefit. They know our people. It's something Tricor does really well.
Tricor's in-depth knowledge of insurance, regulation, compliance, and safety consulting is here to help your business succeed. Working with leading insurance companies like Auto Owners Insurance. They'll be there when you need them most. Visit TricorInsurance.com to learn more about Tricor Insurance Cycle of Care.
Overhead Door Company of Dubuque knows that frigid temperatures, ice, and snow all cause damage to your home. Timing is perfect to give your garage door the tune-up it needs to recover from the beating it's taken all winter. Does your garage door need new weather strip, rollers, or hinges replaced? Maybe a new remote or keyless entry. Call Overhead Door Company of Dubuque for fast service from experienced technicians who know how to improve the performance and extend the life of your garage door. Call 563-582-3020. If it's the red ribbon, it's the right one.
In Game 4.
Bottom of the second inning, no score. And Fennimore will have the Draysons and Brock Hinkle to bat. Casey Drayson, who was the winning pitcher in the win over Cuba City in the semifinal, takes outside for ball one. Same pitch, same result, 2 balls and no strikes. Casey Drayson, 423 batting average, 985 OPS with 23 RBI. Squares to bunt, takes low and inside, and it's 3 balls and no strikes. Shoebox scoreboard presented by the Shoebox in Black Earth, the largest independent shoe store in the Midwest. Well, Pittsville leading Highland 12-0 in the 4th inning, and that's on 97.7 Country WGLR. 3-1. And that grazes the outside corner at the knees. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Corey Drayson on deck. Casey steps out to do a practice swing and now is ready. Popped up foul down the right field or first base side, and that just gets over the fence for a Cuba City collision and repair foul ball. Carver's Hardwood Flooring for hardwood flooring, stair installation, and refinishing needs. Call Ryan Carver, the only National Wood Flooring Association certified installer, standard finisher in the tri-state area. Carver's Hardwood Flooring in Benton. 3-2 with nobody out. And that's fouled off a backstop. I do hope that the concession stand is open after the game because the barbecue I had before the first game was quite good. So was the hot dog in between games. 3-2 with nobody out. Pitch number 2. Ball 4. Casey Drayson walks. And over at first, he is 5 for... Over at first, Corey Drayson is 8 for 11 in stolen bases. Here's Casey Drayson. Corey batting .349, 808 OPS with 14 RBI. That's Corey. Casey, 423 batting average, 985 OPS with 23 RBI. I'm sure the Fennimore fans would love it if there's a called strike on a bunt attempt. I'm sure the Fennimore fans would love it if Corey drove in Casey. That pitch is outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors, Belmont Prairie Sheen at Carey'sGuttersandDoors.com. Bring you today's game. Throw back to first, and the ball gets away. And Drayson is still down the right field line. Drayson for 2. Drayson is going for 3, and he's going to make it. Drayson gets all the way to third base on an error by the pitcher Bruggen, and so the first time Fennimore's gotten to third in this game in this second inning. And meanwhile, a 1 ball, 1 strike count to Corey Drayson. And that pitch bounces up there. Casey Drayson to the plate. The throw gets away, and Fennimore takes the lead. A wild pitch scores Casey Drayson, and Fennimore takes a 1-0 lead, and nobody out in the second inning, the bottom of the second. So that was basically the embodiment of an unearned run. Casey Drayson walked but got to third on the error and then scores on the wild pitch. And meanwhile, a pop-up down the right field line and into the bullpen. Out of play. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. And the pitch. Called strike 3. So Corey Drayson retired. 1 away. And here is Brock Hinkle, the DH. Hinkle, 269 batting average, 774 OPS with 1 home run and 16 RBI. He is a lefty at the plate. And he takes the swings and misses for strike 1. TriStar Pallets of Highland and TriStar Mulch, Cobb and Platteville. Beautify your home with decorative colored mulch. Give Jim Drury and the gang a call at TriStar Pallets of Highland and TriStar Mulch, Cobb and Platteville. A called strike hit. It's quickly 0-2. And a strike on the outside corner. And Brugan started to head to the dugout. Only one problem. There's only 2 out.
Now adding the second baseman, number 3, Gianni Filardo.
Gianni Filardo, 293 batting average, 693 OPS with 16 RBIs. He had the double in the bottom of the eighth inning, and then scored the only run of the game in the sectional semifinal win over Cuba City. First pitch hits the roof of the luxury box over the fan deck down the first baseline. That pitch is outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. The fact that this place has a fan deck is a very laudable thing. There's also deck seating on the left side that is uncovered. I mean, this is, if it wasn't for the 3.5-hour drive, it would be a place to have a sectional every year. 2 balls and a strike. Especially in years when they are not doing road construction. 2-1 pitch, outside corner for a strike, 2-2. Of course, then you think to yourself, what year are they not doing road construction in this state? 2-2 with 2 out. Chop foul at the plate. And we'll do 2-2 again. Guys Truck and Tractor for heavy-duty towing and recovery. Reliable 24-hour roadside service and long-distance transports. Call on Guys Truck and Tractor in Kieler and at guystruck.com. 2-2 with 2 out. Again fouled off. Right side this time. First Supply at Platteville, your total commercial plumbing and heating wholesale outlet. When quality parts are needed, the experts rely on First Supply in Platteville. Bytech Resource Management, or Greener Way Bytech Resource Management of Platteville. Chopper down the third baseline, foul when it got to third. And we'll do 2-2 again. Carver's Hardwood Flooring. For hardwood flooring, stair installation, or refinishing needs, call Ryan Carver, the only National Wood Flooring Association certified installer, sander, and finisher in the tri-state area. Carver's Hardwood Flooring in Benton. Another 2-2 pitch. And that's hit to third and past third for a base hit. So Henkel with a 2-out, or Filardo, with a 2-out single. He is a freshman, by the way, but sure doesn't play like it.
Now batting the center fielder, number 9.
And here's Jude Kenny, the center fielder, batting 241, 592 OPS with 11 RBIs. 1-0 Fennimore. And that pitch popped fouled on the right field line and out of play for strike 1. Krantz Auto Parts, your local hardware Hank and Napa dealer. See Rob Krantz and the crew at Krantz Auto Parts for full service repair on cars and light trucks. True Krantz Auto Parts in Fennimore. Runner first, 2 out. And that's it up the middle for a base hit. And getting to second, Henkel stops there. And so a 2-out rally here. Kenny with a single. And back to the top of the order, and Starkey, who grounded to short to lead off the bottom of the first inning. 1-0 Fennimore, 2 outs, the bottom of the second inning. And the first pitch bounces up there and goes to the screen, and both runners will advance on the wild pitch. Well, if Starkey could get a base hit here, more than 1 run lead feels like forever in the kind of games that have been the case today. Pitch fouled off to the right side and out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike. Nice scoreboard in left center field. Even includes hits and errors, and they are working. called strike on a pitch that Starkey flinched backwards on, but it is called a strike, and so it's 1-2 with 2 out, and runners at second and third. And here's the pitch. Outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Bruggen had 14 pitches in the first. He's past that now, I have to think. 2-2 with 2 away. And the pitch. Chopped to third, and the throw over to first is in time, and that ends the bottom of the second inning. 1 run does come in, 2 hits on a walk and an error. 2 hits after that, but they are left. And our score after 2, Fennimore 1, Westby nothing on Super Hits 106.
In Game 5.
The Underground in Platteville is so much more than your local CBD store. They have everything you need for disc golf, including the area's largest selection of discs and accessories. And they carry the top brands like Discraft, Dynamic Disc, MVP, and more. The Underground also has e-liquid, locally blown glass, smoking accessories, along with a variety of quality local and certified CBD products. Stop by today at The Underground, Main Street in Platteville and Galena, online at theundergroundplatteville.com, and be sure to follow The Underground on social media.
When it comes to building your dream, trust a name with over 30 years experience. CK Construction is family owned and proudly rooted right here in the tri-state area. From high quality custom homes built from the ground up to expert concrete work, detailed remodels, and everything in between. They can handle your project from start to finish with care and craftsmanship. Visit ckconstruction.net and see how they turn your vision into reality. That's ckconstruction.net. CK Construction. Come home to a CK home.
In Game 5.
Top of the third inning. Fennimore 1 run, 3 hits, no errors. And Westby no runs, 1 hit, 1 error. No runs, no hits, 1 error. And Chase Quellhorst batting 176, 572 OPS with 5 RBIs. And a called strike. The ball got away from Miles, but again, nobody bored. 1 ball and 1 strike. And the 1-1 pitch is outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. Sloan Implement, your official John Deere dealer, Bloomington, Cuba City, Montfort, Lanark, Illinois, and at Sloans.com. Swing and a miss, 2-2. Bouse Electric, call Brad Adrian and Josh Busher at Bouse Electric, Lancaster, and Fennimore. WCC Brands Custom Apparel and Kieler, WCC-brands.com. That is hit well, but a diving stop, unable to get it to first, however. Nice play attempt there by Starkey, but it will be an infield single for Quellhorst.
Next up, the second baseman, number 4, Michael Larson.
And here is Michael Larson, batting .300, 773 OPS with 12 RBIs. And a called strike. Third baseman Yankee Fiedler came flying in expecting a bunt, which hasn't happened yet. The 0-1 pitch, this is a bunt, but it goes foul, and it's 2 strikes. Quellhorst at third, 13 stolen bases. Both of these teams are really teams that don't rely on the home run ball or even power hitting, but they like to run a lot. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Called strike 3. 1 out in the third. Back to the top of the order, and Nelson, who walked, got to third, but that's as far as he got. In the to lead off the game, and there's a called strike. Scheckler had 32 pitches in the first 2 innings. There's a called strike, and it's 0-2, and 45 for Bruggen. That second inning didn't go very well for him. Some of it wasn't his fault, although he did have the error. That's pop foul out of play, still 2 strikes. Our game today brought to you by People's State Bank. For personal home business and ag loans, visit one of their convenient yearly locations or peoplesfinancial.com, member FDIC. Called strike 3 and 2 away.
Next up, the left fielder, number 6, Gavin Larson.
Here is Gavin Larson, a sacrifice in the first inning. We're in the top of the third, 1-0 Fennimore. And you could probably hear that certainly Scheckler's making the glove of McCoy Miles pop with his fastballs. That one was outside for ball 1. Change up there, that's a strike. And it's 1-1. Gary's Pest Control in Dickeyville. Gary's Pest Control salutes their local athletes. Gary's Pest Control, over 40 years of professional friendly service. 1-1 pitch. Tried to get him to go after that, and Larson did not. 2 balls and a strike. Here's the 2-1 pitch, and that is outside the strike zone. It's 3 balls and a strike. You would think that Nedlund, who is on deck, you would like to have him bat with nobody aboard if you can do that. 3-1 pitch, called strike. Larson took off for first, but didn't wait for the call, and so now it's 3-2 with 2 out and a runner at first. Here's the 3-2. Fouled off. And we'll do 3-2 again. Donnie's Tire and Auto, call the only hooker in town for 24-hour towing service, 568-3014, 568-3014, your home for excellent car care. Donnie's Tire and Auto in Dickeyville. 3-2, chop back over Scheckler and to second base, and throw to first is not in time. Infield single for Larson, and so 2 aboard with 2 out, and here's Nedlund, who grounded to second in the first.
The center fielder, number 2, Devin Nedlund.
Nedlund again with a 2-run triple in the bottom of the third, the only runs of the game for Westby, but thanks to Nedlund, the pitcher, same guy obviously, that's all they needed. Nedlund, a left-handed batter. And the first pitch, called strike on the outside corner. Certainly if you can make somebody hit it to the opposite field, that's preferable as a pitcher. The 0-1 is hit to center field, but caught and then dropped. It's a base hit, and coming around to score, he actually fell down. It was a base hit. Quellhorst scores. We are tied on the RBI single by Nedlund.
The designated hitter, number 11.
They were tied at 1, and Larson gets to second. Here's Evenstad, who struck out looking in the first. And a called strike. So 1 run will not be sufficient. The 0-1, instead Scheckler whirls to second, does not throw. Mount City Bank's Total Line of Credit allows you to use the equity in your home to do the things you want. Stop in at Mount City Bank to apply. Swing and a miss. 2 strikes. Offer subject to approval. Member FDIC and an equal housing lender. Learn more at mountcitybank.com. 2 strikes with 2 out. And called strike 3, and that ends the inning. However, 3 hits lead to a run, 2 left, and after 2.5, tied at 1 on Super Hits 106.
In Game 6.
Are high bank fees draining your wallet? It's time for a change.
At People's State Bank, they believe in low fees that put you first.
Tired of being charged for using your debit card, sneaky paper statement fees, or monthly maintenance fees?
With People's State Bank's People's Checking Account, those fees are a thing of the past.
Worried about ATM fees?
At People's State Bank, they reimburse you for up to 3 ATM fees per month. They work hard to keep your money where it belongs, in your pocket.
Make the switch to People's State Bank today. Visit a branch near you or peoplesfinancial.com. Member FDIC.
In Grant, Iowa, or Lafayette counties, Master Electrician Vince Graney and Graney Electric specialize in commercial, agricultural, and residential wiring. From blown fuses to dead outlets, electrical problems can be challenging for homeowners. At Graney Electric in Platteville, they're dedicated to solving clients' electrical problems quickly and accurately at affordable prices. For new construction, repair issues, or maintenance, reliability and integrity have made Graney Electric the company you can count on to make your electrical problems go away. Give Vince a call at 608-732-0327. In Game 6.
Bottom of the third inning, a 1-1 tie. On the Shoebox scoreboard presented by the Shoebox in Black Earth, the largest independent shoe store in the Midwest. Highlands season is over. Pittsville, the number 1 seed, wins 13-3 in 5 innings. That was on 97.7 Country WGLR. Yankee Fiedler struck out looking in the first. Fouls the first pitch off the backstop for strike 1. So Belmont's season is over. Boscobel's season is over since Highland won. And now Highland's season is over. So baseball's hopes in Southwest Wisconsin reside with the Golden Eagles. There's a bunt. And bounces foul. And 2 strikes with nobody out. Of course, we will have state softball coming up on Thursday. Ithaca and Belmont, 8:30 on 97.7 Country WGLR. 0-2 pitch, fouled off the backstop again. And that's in Division 5. Then in Division 4, we will have Mineral Point and Mishicot. That'll be a 4 o'clock start on 97.7 Country WGLR. And if either wins, we'll be back Saturday. That pitch bounces up there, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Ritchie Implement in Cobb, Darlington, Barneveld, and Lancaster. See your inventory and employment opportunities at ritchieseinc.com. 1-2 pitch. Check swing inside, and he went around on it, and so it's a strikeout. 1 away. Here is Scheckler, who singled back in the first. First pitch. Same as the last one, but he didn't swing at it, so it's ball 1. 1-0 pitch. Outside corner for a strike. 1-1. Wood Law Office, serving you in Fennimore and Lake and Boscobel, provide Grant County estate planning, elder law, probate, business law, real estate, and municipal law. Call Bennett, Wood Law Office, Fennimore, and Boscobel. A pitch outside. And the next pitch, fouled off at the plate, 2-2. Ethan Scheckler, by the way, the Southwest Wisconsin Activities League Player of the Year. And his dad, Brent Scheckler, Coach of the Year. 2-2 is hit to left field and hit well. And this is going to be off the wall, and it will be a double for Scheckler. 2 guys going after it. It's not, well, by the standards of Fennimore's games last week at
Next up, the catcher, number 2, McCoy Miles.
UW Platteville, Kendall Murray Field. It's not as deep. That was hit to the power lines, or power alley in left center. Brody Roth back in as the courtesy runner at second base with 1 away. And so Scheckler 2 for 2. First pitch is popped up to right field, and the cat made and taking and going over to third is Roth, but there is 2 out. Here's Casey Drayson, who walked and scored.
Now batting the first baseman,
in the
29,
Corey Drayson. He walked and scored, and then got all the way to third on a bad pickoff throw, and then scored on a wild pitch. That is, to this point, Belmont's only, or one more time, Fennimore's only run. That pitch is outside for ball 1. Community First Bank, for you in the communities where you live, work, and play. Experience for yourself the difference at Community First Bank. CFBank.com, member FDIC. Popped up. On the infield, it is the second baseman, Micah Larson, making the catch and ending the inning. One double, one runner left. And after 3 innings, Westby 1, Fennimore 1 on Super Hits 106.
In Game 7.
Hi, this is Steve Schmidt, owner of the Shoebox in downtown Black Earth. We have thousands of pairs of shoes in stock, no waiting. So stop in anytime, specializing in size, selection, and fit. We will save you money. P.S. We measure both feet. Stop into the Shoebox, the largest shoe store at the north end of Black Earth.
One bite at Los Aztecas and your taste buds will be shouting, Olay! Check out their new menu and website with daily dine-in lunch and dinner specials at Los Aztecas in Dubuque, Galena, and Prairie du Chien. For carryout orders, see their menu at losaztecasiwi.com. Do you enjoy playing sports and watching other people compete? Here's a great opportunity for you to get involved. You can make significant income while providing a great community service by becoming a WIAA licensed official. It gives you the opportunity to be involved, stay in shape, and assist in providing the lifelong lessons from education-based athletics. Signing up is easy. Just go to WIAAWI.org. Access the officials tab to get started today. This message is from Queen Bee Radio and the WIAA.
In Game 7.
Carey Regional Health Center and People's State Bank coverage of high school baseball presented by Cuba City, Kieler, Darlington Family Dental, and Carey Seamless Gutters over at Doors on Super Hits 106, and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel powered by Tim Slack Auction Realty at H&M Plumbing, Heating, and Electrical. 4th inning, 1-1 tie. First pitch, a swing and a miss by Rathel, who grounded to second in the second inning. Outside on the next pitch, 1 ball and 1 strike. Westby 1 run, 3 hits and 1 error. Fennimore 1 run, 4 hits, no errors. Swing and a miss. Oh, that looked like a golf swing. And it's 1-2. Fennimore with a run in the second. Westby with a run in the third. And a 1-2. Outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Larson Family Funeral Home and the Soman Larson Funeral Home have dedicated themselves to the highest level of personal services that only a family-owned and operated funeral home can provide. That's it, foul out of play. The Larson Family Funeral Home in Fennimore and Soman Larson Funeral Home in Montfort. Two-two. Hits a right field, and that's going to drop for a base hit. In front of the right fielder, Casey Drayson. And so Rathel is 1 for 2. Here's Bruggen, the pitcher, who struck out back in the second inning. Bruggen decides to take a couple of practice swings before he steps in. Not much of a lead there. There's the bunt attempt, and it's outside for a ball. Now Bruggen steps back in. And the 1-0 pitch, squares the bunt again, and does. And this is a good one. Yankee Fiedler comes all the way over to the first base side and fields it and throws to first. And that moves Rathel to second. Here's Everett Hoven, who struck out back in the second inning. Runner at second, 1 out, 1-1 tie. Hoven again, a left-hander. And the ball gets away. That'll be a passed ball that moves Rathel over to third.
Courtesy runner is number 9, Anders Hoven.
And let's check that. That is Anders Hoven, who is the courtesy runner for Rathel. And he is now over at third with 1 away. Popped up, foul left-sided out of play. And the count 1 ball and 1 strike. We're tied at 1, top of the 4th inning. 1 away. That is inside on a fastball, 2 balls and a strike. It was cloudy this morning. Cloudy this morning, and cloudy for the second game. That's a called strike. 2-2. The sun is now attempting to burn through the Canadian wildfire smoke. And the temperature now in the 70s. No wind to speak of. 2-2. Inside, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Quellhorst is on deck. And here is the 3-2 pitch. Hit to left field, and that's going to drive in a run and go to the wall. And that'll be a double for Everett Hoven, and Westby takes the lead 2-1. RBI single for Hoven. And Westby has its first lead of the game.
Now batting the right fielder, number 14, Chase Quellhorst.
Here's Quellhorst, who reached out an infield single and scored in the 3rd inning. And a runner at second for him, and a swing and a miss. Strike 1. There's 1 out. And that misses outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Here is the 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. 1-2. The butcher shop in Fennimore offers top quality beef, pork, and chicken to fill your freezers. Short on time? Don't forget the heat and serve barbecue beef and pork for great tasty meals. The butcher shop in Fennimore. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. And 2 away.
Next up for second baseman, number 4, Michael Larson.
Here's Michael Larson, who struck out looking back in the 3rd inning. Still a runner at second. 2-1 Westby. And the pitch is outside for ball 1. Subs.com. Fuel your fitness journey with a wide selection of products from our locally owned company. Visit their Fennimore, Dubuque, and Platteville locations or Subs.com. Swung out and fouled off right side and out of play. Here's the pitch. Pop foul again. 2 strikes. Today's game also brought to you by Denlinger Orthodontics. Interested in brackets or clear aligners? Summer's the perfect time to start your smile transformation. 2-strike pitch. Called strike 3. We'll get to that in a moment, but Westby takes the lead on 2 hits and 1 left after 3.5. Westby 2, Fennimore 1 on Super Hits 106.
In game 8.
This is Secret Clinical dominating extra stinky stress sweat. And this is regular deodorant. Secret Clinical in a heat wave. Oh, what a beautiful day. This is regular deodorant. Ugh, I can't. Secret Clinical with workout sweat. Let's run another marathon. And regular deodorant. How much more? Secret is the GOAT. Because nothing fights sweat better. Stay fresher under pressure.
Progressive knows you've got enough to worry about in life.
Hi, it's your life again. Feel like another year is just slipping away? Yeah, remember all those New Year's resolutions you made? You still haven't finished the first book. Just 19 more to go. I mean, if we're being honest, it wasn't a very realistic goal. Have you ever considered that you intentionally self-sabotage? So, what's that about?
So, let Progressive protect your home and auto, because you've got enough to worry about. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
In game 8.
2-1 Westby as we go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Veterinary Associates at Hazel Green and Galena. Visit vetassociatesgalena.com and check out their online store at myvetstoreonline.com. Veterinary Associates, Hazel Green, and Galena. Corey Drayson struck out looking back in the first and takes low for ball one. Interested in braces or clear aligners? Summer's the perfect time to start your smile transformation. Denlinger Orthodontics in Platteville offers complimentary consultations and specializes in orthodontic treatment for kids, teens, and adults. Denlinger Orthodontics, 608-348-9777. And that almost hit him. At a pitch that was inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And there is a ground ball back to the pitcher, and the throw to first is in time, 1 away.
Next up, the DH, number 11, Brock Hinkle.
Brock Hinkle struck out looking in the second inning. Well, we know that Fennimore's got the ability to come back in this postseason. Remember, they trailed 2-0 as that pitch a called strike. They trailed 2-0 to New Glarus in the 4th inning in the regional final and came back to get 2 in the bottom of the 4th and tie it, and then they got a run in the 5th to take the lead and an insurance run in the 6th. So we know they're capable of that. Pitch is inside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And the pitch to Hinkle, outside 2-2. Pregame works quickly. Ready to go. Already, 2-2 pitch. Bounces up there, and it's 3 balls and 2 strikes. Three and 2. With 1 out and the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Hinkle strikes out, 2 away. Here's Filardo,
Next up, the second baseman, number 3, Gianni Filardo.
who had the RBI single in the 2nd inning. That gave Fennimore their only run so far. We're in the bottom of the 4th, 2-1 Westby. With 2 out, first pitch is outside for ball 1. Filardo, the only freshman in the lineup as a starter, and he swings and misses, and it's 1-1. And that is hit to short. And the throw to first is not in time. The ball dropped at first base. So did he beat it out or not? Yeah, so that's an error. Should be an error on the first baseman. And so here's Kenny,
Now batting the center fielder, number 9,
who singled back in the 2nd inning. Wonder if they will run Filardo here with 2 out. He is 10 of 15 in stolen bases. He has a medium-sized lead over at first. First pitch is outside for ball 1. And now throw back to first, and Filardo gets back in time. Our game brought to you by the Butcher Shop in Fennimore, offering top quality beef, pork, and chicken to fill your freezers. Here's a called strike 1-1, short on time. Don't forget the heat and serve barbecue beef and pork for great tasting meals. The Butcher Shop in Fennimore. 1-1, 2 out. That's outside, 2 balls and a strike. Sneedle's Heating and Cooling. Call your local Daikin dealer. Bradley Schneider for heating, ventilating, and air conditioning service from Sneedle's Heating and Cooling in Bloomington. That just missed. And it's 3-1. With 2 out and a runner at first. And the 3-1. Called strike over the middle, and it's 3-2. Three and 2 with 2 out. Filardo goes, and a called strike to end the inning. So Kenny retired, and 1 error, 1 left after 4, 2-1 Westby on Super Hits 106.
In Game 9.
Switch to a financial partner that's local, accessible, and dedicated to you. With Dutrax branches just around the corner, you'll find all the services you need right where you need them. Becoming a member of Dutrack Community Credit Union and opening an account is fast and easy. Your journey to smart money management begins here with a flexible option backed by competitive rates. Visit dutrack.org or stop by your local Dutrack branch office for more information.
Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Opportunity Lender.
Model home sale at Homesteader Homes in Prairie du Chien for your first home or your forever home. If quality, comfort, and affordability are important to you, see their outstanding selection of modular and manufactured homes today. Homesteader Homes in Prairie du Chien is open 7 days a week for you to walk through their wide variety of locally built homes. So don't wait. Stop by or make an appointment today to get the best deal on your next home and join the Homesteader Homes family in Prairie du Chien, serving the tri-state area since 1982.
In Game 9.
Grant Regional Health Center and People's State Bank coverage of high school baseball presented by Cuba City, Kieler, Darlington, Family Dental, and Carey Seamless Gutters over indoors on Super Hits 106 and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel, powered by Tim Slack Auction and Realty and H&M Plumbing, Heating, Electrical. Fifth inning, 2-1 Westby over Fennimore. And the first pitch hit to left field and hit well to left field. And caught, however, in left field by Chappell off the bat of Michael Larson, who is now 0 for 2.
Next up, the left fielder, number 6, Gavin Larson.
Gavin Larson. And Larson takes a called strike. Larson sacrificed in the first, infield single in the third inning. I must have missed somebody in the lineup here because I'm missing it out, but at any rate, the count is 1 ball and 1 strike with 1 out. And that's a strike on the outside corner, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Tim Slack Auction Realty has buyers looking for agricultural, commercial, residential properties. If you've been considering selling, call Tim, Kathy, Chase, and their staff today. Tim Slack Auction Realty in Fennimore. And that is a line drive caught by Kitty in center field. Big play there, 2 away. Now Nedland singled in the third. Before that, grounded to short in the first inning. And the first pitch fouled off to the backstop for strike 1. Papa Murphy's in Platteville Prairie and Prairie du Chien. Experience love at 425 degrees. Today is $12 Tuesday. Here's the pitch. Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Buy a large pizza with up to 5 toppings for just $12 every Tuesday at Papa Murphy's in Platteville and Prairie du Chien. Order online at papamurphys.com. The 1-1 upstairs, 2-1. Anderson Weber returning to Dubuque, powering our audio stream. Anderson Weber returning to Dubuque when you are ready. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Outside, 3-1. Grant Regional Health Center's ortho team, Dr. Brad Binsfeld and Nate Stocco, PEC, provide exceptional care for sports-related injuries. Grant Regional Health Center, better health starts here. 3-1. Bounces up there for a play, and actually, let me correct the count. It's actually 3-2 with 2 out, and the umpire comes out to talk to Scheckler for some reason, not sure why. And then talks to Scheckler, and it goes behind home plate. Subway in Fennimore offering delicious subs with fresh baked bread with tasty proteins available both in bowls and sub sandwiches. Subway in Fennimore. 3-2 is outside for ball 4. 2 out walk for Nedland. Here's Evenstad, who struck out looking in the first and the third, in both cases to win the inning.
Grady Evenstad.
Here's the first pitch. Bounces up there for a ball. I'm not a math major by any means, but at least based on the pitch counts to this point, I don't know that these two guys are going to be able to finish the game just because they've had innings in which they threw a lot of pitches. That pitch hit to right field And coming over and making the catch, Casey Drayson to end the inning. One walk, one left. Westby's left 3 through 4.5. Westby 2, Fennimore 1 on Super Hits 106.
In game 10.
This update sponsored by UW Credit Union. For every stage of life, UW Credit Union is here for every you.
During every Brewers home game at American Family Field throughout the 2025 season, fans will have the chance to win a 2025 Land Cruiser, courtesy of your Wisconsin Toyota dealers. Visit brewers.com/Toyota to enter. Join UW Credit Union at uwcu.org. Insured by NCUA.
Dear Diary, this is Veronica from the Bell Tower Theater's Heather the Musical Teen Edition. My story is based on the cult classic movie and is a deliciously dark comedy about high school in the 80s. Featuring area high school students, Heather's the Musical Teen Edition runs from June 13th to the 22nd. Tickets are just $15. To see me, JD, and all of the Heathers, call 563-588-3377 or visit belltowertheater.net. Thanks to the Iowa Arts Council and Tyson's for their support.
In game 10.
Bottom of the 5th inning, 2-1 Westby, 2-5-2 for Westby, 1-4-0 for Fennimore. The Eagles will have 4 runners aboard. The Norsemen have left 5 runners aboard. Tyson Starkey, top of the order. He has 2 ground out, or he's a ground out to short and a ground out to third. And the first pitch is ball 1. Brian's Auto Body and Paint Specialist. The pros at Brian's get the job done right for unexpected dings or major repair projects at Brian's Auto Body and Paint in Lancaster. The ball bounces away on the next pitch, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. Tim Slack Auction Realty. For whether buying or selling, call Tim, Kathy, Chase, and their staff today. Tim Slack Auction Realty, Lancaster, and Fennimore. Pregame threw 74 pitches in 4 innings, the first 4 innings. Scoring to bunt Starkey. And he hit him right around the head. In the helmet, fortunately. He's all right. Tossed the bat. Went to first. So he's the tying run at first base. Yaki Fiedler grounded back to the pitcher in the first. And then struck out in the third. And we're brought to you by McNett Electric in Belmont. They can assist you with all your electrical needs. Shep and his crew at McNett Electric are on call, ready to help you with your agricultural, business, and commercial needs. McNett Electric in Belmont. Yaki Fiedler squares the bunt, takes a strike. Obviously, Starkey is a threat to run at first base. Starkey coming into today 22 of 22 in stolen bases. For a team which came into this week with nearly 100 stolen bases. Here's the 0-1. There goes the runner, and it's bunted. And the throw to first is in time. And still going to third is Starkey, and he is out. Well, that was a 1-3 sacrifice for 1 out. And then Starkey thrown out 3-5 for the second out.
Now batting the pitcher, number 25, Ethan Scheckler.
And so Scheckler bats with the bases empty and 2 out. He's 2 for 2. Singled in the first, doubled in the third. But in neither case was Roth, his pinch runner, able to score. Russell Offices here to assist your local legal representation with locations across southwest Wisconsin, including their new Platteville location coming in July. 1-0 pitch. Bounces and gets away. But now the bases are cleared, so that doesn't matter. 2 balls and no strikes. That could be conceivably a Tricor turning point. Although, you know, when you have the quality pitching that we've seen in this game, teams sometimes feel like they have to take chances. And as we know, and Brent Scheckler admitted this, Fennimore is an extremely aggressive team on the base paths. That's a called strike on the inside quarter, 2-1. CJATM service, he Chuck Schneering. And that's popped up to second, and the catch made by the second baseman Michael Larson to end the inning. We'll get to CJATM service in a moment here. One hit batter erased on a double play, one left after 5. Westby 2, Fennimore 1 on Super Hits 106.
In Game 11.
Hello, Amy here from Cuba City Family Dental. Part of our dedication to excellence in the dental services we offer are same-day crowns. Instead of return visits to our office, we can diagnose and fix your tooth in one day at any of our 3 convenient locations. Call us when you are in need and experience patient-centered care for you and your family at Cuba City, Darlington, and Kieler Family Dental. Ask about our new patient specials. Keep smiling, Tri-States.
Turpin Dodge salutes Kim Cameroon, RN Manager at Medical Associates Clinic in Dubuque. Turpin will honor Kim with a donation to Stonehill Care Facility. Visit TurpinDodge.com to nominate an area nurse. Thank you, Kim, from Turpin Dodge in Dubuque.
Our Grant Regional Health Center and People's State Bank coverage of high school sports on Queen Bee Radio is presented by Cuba City, Kieler, and Darlington Family Dental, and by Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors. Check out our upcoming schedule at am1590wpdl.com.
In Game 11.
Top of the 6th inning, 2-1 Westby over Fennimore. CJATM service, Chuck Schneering. For all of your business and large-scale event ATM needs, find CJATM service on Facebook to learn more. CJATM service in Platteville. Justin Washburn and the H&M Plumbing, Heating, Electrical team continue to provide top-quality plumbing, heating, electrical services for your business, home, and farm. H&M Plumbing, Heating, Electrical, serving you in Fennimore, Lancaster, and Boscoville. Casey Drayson has now taken over on the mound. As we go to the 6th inning, so Scheckler goes 5.
Now adding the catcher, number 15, Ben Rathel.
Here's Rathel to lead off. And he takes ball 1 from Drayson. And I'm looking at the wrong game here. It's got to be here someplace. Oh, here it is. I was holding it in my hand. And there's a called strike, 1-1. Rathel grounded to second in the second. And then got a base hit, and his courtesy runner Hovind scored. There's a ground ball back to the pitcher, and race back to first in time, 1 away.
Next up, the pitcher, number 5, Beckett Bregan.
Here's Bregan. Struck out in the second, sacrifice in the 4th inning. Herms's Ace Hardware and Home Center in Bloomington, and Herms's Ace Hardware at the bottom of Main and Platteville. See Herms's for the perfect paint for your next project. Herms's Ace Hardware, Bloomington, and Platteville. Clare Bank, with their 8 convenient locations in Southwest Wisconsin, proud to support our community events. Clare Bank, where they say we can do that. Member FDIC and equal housing lender. Pitches upstairs, 1-1. So Casey Drayson is on the mound, and Ethan Scheckler is now behind the plate, and therefore I think Miles has got to be either in left field or right field. Swing and a miss, 1-2. And that pitch is outside. Drayson, of course, pitched the 8th inning, and got the win in the semifinal game. And that pitch is inside. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Fennimore, of course, in the first game left 11 runners on base, didn't get a single one of them in, including 2 in the 7th and 2 in the 8th. That's hit to left field and a base hit. 1 out single for Bregan. He's 1 for 2, and here's Hoven. Struck out in the second. RBI single in the fourth inning. And that run is the difference in the game. It's 2-1 Westby. Fouled off the backstop for strike one. And a change in baseball, a change of bat, it looked like, or somebody was grabbing a bat. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That's outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Here's the 1-1. That's inside 2-1. Mound City Bank's total line of credit allows you to use the equity in your home to do the things you want. Stop in at Mound City Bank to apply. Offer subject to approval. Member FDIC and equal housing lender. Learn more at MoundCityBank.com. 2-1 upstairs, 3-1. Bring it at first, 15 stolen bases. That you're not going to run here, though, when it's 3-1. Probably. 3-1 pitch, fouled off the backstop, 3-2. Ritchie Implement in Cobb, Barneveld, Darlington, and Lancaster. See your inventory and employment opportunities at ritchiesinc.com. 3-2 with 1 out. And that's inside ball 4. First and second with 1 out. And here's Quellhorst, who had an infield single and scored Westby's first run in the third and then struck out in the fourth inning. You don't like Fennimore's. And there will be a pinch hitter here. It's Maddox Fensel. Batting with 2 aboard and 1 out. Maddox Fensel this season, .299 batting average, .613 OPS with 6 RBIs. And he takes ball 1. Wood Law Office serving you in Fennimore and Boscobel, providing Grant County estate planning, elder law, probate, business law, real estate, and municipal law. Call Bennett Wood Law Office, Fennimore and Boscobel. 1 ball, 1 strike with 1 out. That's inside and high. 2 balls and a strike. J. Gile Dairy in Cuba City. J. Gile, your authorized Gia dealer, knows as a dairy producer you can't afford downtime. Anytime day or night, call J. Gile for emergency repairs. 2-2 with 1 out. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. On a fastball in the inside quarter, 2 away. And here is Michael Larson, struck out looking in the third. And in the 5th inning, 2 aboard with 2 out. And there's a called strike. Subs.com, fuel your fitness journey with a wide selection of products from a locally owned company. Visit their Fennimore, Dubuque, and Platteville locations and subs.com. There's a ball, 1 ball and 1 strike. Two runners take their leads. More lead at second than first. Swing and a miss. And it is 1-2 with 2 out. Here's the 1-2. Hit to center field. Kinney going back, but he will have it. And that ends the inning. A hit and a walk. 2 runners left.
For Drayson is 47.
And our score after 5.5. 2-1 Westby on Super Hits 106.
In Game 12.
Get ready, car lovers. It's Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors Car Show and Customer Appreciation Day, Saturday, June 14th from 10:30 to 2:30 in Prairie du Chien. Stop by Carey's for an afternoon of awesome cars, food and drinks, door prizes, and fun for the whole family. No trophies, no judging, no pressure. Just good times and great rides. That's Saturday, June 14th at Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors, Highway 18 in Prairie du Chien.
Celebrate summer. This is Courtney with Potosa Spa. We have the perfect service to celebrate the season. Indulge in an ultimate pampering session with our coconut, lime, and pineapple-infused body scrub and Beyond Bliss facial. Top off this incredibly tropical experience with a deliciously refreshing strawberry or lime margarita. You don't want to miss out on this one. Schedule your appointment at 563-588-5570. Make it a spa day at Potosa Spa inside Hotel Julian Dubuque.
In Game 12.
Midwest Builders Incorporated of Fennimore specializes in commercial light industrial construction, building lasting relationships in the tri-state area since 1992. Midwest Builders Incorporated in Fennimore. We go to the bottom of the sixth, 2-1. 4-5-6 batters for Fennimore, and McCoy Miles takes ball one. Miles struck out looking in the first, fly to center in the third. It hits this ball well, drops for a base hit, headed toward the wall. It's cut off, and Miles digging for two, and he's in there with a double. Miles legged it out. And so the tying run at second with nobody out. Here's Casey Drayson, who walked and scored in the second, and then popped to second in the fourth.
Now adding the first baseman, number 29, Corey Drayson.
Our game also brought to you by Denlinger Orthodontics. And before I tell you about that, here's the pitch. It is squares to butt, takes a strike. Interested in braces or clear aligners? Summer's the perfect time to start your smile transformation. Denlinger Orthodontics in Platteville offers complimentary consultations, specializes in orthodontic treatment for kids, teens, and adults. Denlinger Orthodontics, 608-348-9777. Next pitch, hit fouled on the right field line on a pitch out of the strike zone. It's quickly 0-2. Two strikes with nobody out, tying right at second. 2-1 Westby. And the 0-2 swung and missed at another ball and hits that one foul. And so we will do 0-2 once again. Larson Family Funeral Home and the Soman Larson Funeral Home have dedicated themselves to the highest level of personal services that only a family-owned and operated funeral home can provide. Larson Family Funeral Home in Fennimore and Soman Larson Funeral Home in Montfort. Two strikes. And the pitch. That's hit to left field. That'll be a base hit. Miles to third. He'll have to hold there because he was running right in front, but Casey Drayson with a base hit. Drayson at first, the go-ahead run. Here's Corey Drayson, struck out looking in the second, grounded back to the pitcher in the fourth. And I think we're going to get a pitching change here. That's going to be it for Bruggen.
Final pitch count for Bruggen, 94.
So he is taken out at pitch number 94. And his reliever, the new pitcher, is Gavin Larson.
The pitcher is number 6, Gavin Larson.
And he's, I guess, well, he could be considered a closer. 0-1, 2 for 2 in save opportunities, and an ERA of 3.143 whip. He's pitched in 9 games, 14 innings, giving up 10 hits, 10 runs, 6 earned. He's walked 10 and struck out 11. And he inherits first and third with nobody out in the bottom of the 6th inning, and Westby leading Fennimore 2-1. Community First Bank, for you in the communities where you live, work, and play. Experience for yourself the difference at Community First Bank. CFBank.com, member FDIC. Mountain City Bank's Total Line of Credit allows you to use the equity in your home to do the things you want. Stop in at Mountain City Bank to apply. Offer subject to approval. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender. Learn more at mountaincitybank.com. Well, Westby won the first game 2-0. Fennimore won the second game 1-0 at 8. So a one-run game surprises nobody. Don't forget, we will have state softball coming up on Thursday. Ithaca and Belmont at 8:30 on 97.7 Country WGLR in Division 5 and in Division 4, Mineral Point and Michigan. 4 o'clock start also on 97.7 Country WGLR. Corey Drayson swings and misses at the first pitch. As we mentioned, he struck out looking in the second, grounded back to the pitcher in the first. Miles at third, Casey Drayson at first. There goes Casey Drayson, grounded to third, and the throw will be to the plate, and the tag is made. He's out. Miles is retired. It goes as a fielder's choice. I believe that was 5-2 on the putout, so one away. Casey Drayson gets to second.
Next up, number 11, Brock Hinkle.
And here's Hinkle. Hinkle struck out looking in the second and swinging in the fourth. Now it's first and second with one out. Fouled off the backstop. Another Cuba City collision and repair foul ball. Fennimore, remember, they didn't have hardly any opportunities at all in the first game. They had one hit in 7 innings until they got the 2 hits in the bottom of the 8th. Here's the 0-1 to Hinkle. And that's hit to center. He gets out for a base hit. And around third, the throw to the plate, and he got him again. And that's the inning. A catch is made in the outfield. And then trying to score was Casey Drayson. He gets thrown out at the plate. An 8-2 throw out, or 9-2 I believe it was. And that ends the 6th inning. 2 hits but no runs. 1 left after 6. 2-1 Westby on Super Hits 106.
In game 13.
Are high bank fees draining your wallet? It's time for a change.
At People's State Bank, they believe in low fees that put you first.
Tired of being charged for using your debit card, sneaky paper statement fees, or monthly maintenance fees?
With People's State Bank's People's Checking Account, those fees are a thing of the past.
Worried about ATM fees?
At People's State Bank, they reimburse you for up to 3 ATM fees per month. They work hard to keep your money where it belongs, in your pocket.
Make the switch to People's State Bank today. Visit a branch near you or peoplesfinancial.com. Member FDIC.
What happened to customer service? You're expected to check yourself out at the store, you're expected to pay 3% extra to use credit cards, and you're expected to unbox your own mattress and set it up yourself. Well, not at Dubuque Mattress. Hi, this is Doug Dalter with Dubuque Mattress. At Dubuque Mattress, customer service is alive and well. When you buy a mattress from us, we take care of everything. We deliver, set up, and get rid of the old mattress for you. We don't charge for using credit cards, and we offer free financing. Dubuque Mattress, for the rest of your life.
Dubuque Mattress Factory, you get a little snooze time.
In game 13.
Top of the 7th inning. 2-1 Westby. 2 runs, 6 hits, 2 errors for the Norse. 1 run, 6 hits, no errors for the Cubans. And boy, that's 6th inning where they had 2 aboard and nobody out. Didn't get either of them in and had 2 runners thrown out at the plate. To say the least, that looms large. Our game today brought to you by Midwest Builders Incorporated in Fennimore, specializing in commercial light industrial construction, building lasting relationships in the tri-state area since 1992. Midwest Builders Incorporated in Fennimore. Obviously, in this 7th inning. If Fennimore is going to have a chance, they have to make sure that nothing else gets to the plate. Nelson leads off and fouls the first pitch off. Nelson walked in the first, struck out looking in the third, and flied to right in the 5th. So he is 0 for 2. Fennimore will have the 8-9-1 batters due up in the bottom of the 7th inning. Keep in mind that was the batters due up when they ended up winning the game against Cuba City earlier today, and a pause at the plate. And I'm not sure why. Ethan Scheckler is talking to the 2 of the umpires, and now all 3 of them. I'm not quite sure what this is about. I'll tell you that it looks like somebody got hurt possibly. Subs.com, fuel your fitness journey with a wide selection of products from your locally owned company. Visit their Fennimore, Dubuque, and Platteville locations and Subs.com. Well, that's broken up. We're ready to go here. 1 ball, no strikes. And that pitch is outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Wood Law Office, serving you in Fennimore and Boscombe, providing Grant County estate planning, elder law, probate, business law, real estate, and municipal law. Call Bennett Wood Law Office, Fennimore and Lancaster. There's a called ball, and it's 3 balls and correction, strike 2 and 1. And the pitch grounded to second, past Filardo and into right field. So Nelson aboard to lead off.
Now adding the pitcher, number 6, Gavin Larson.
I guess that was a base hit. Oh, it is an error. Okay, so an error at Filardo. He's at first. I should say Nelson is at first. And bunting Gavin Larson takes outside for ball 1. Sacrifice in the first, infield single in the third, and line to center in the 5th. Bunts, squares to bunt again, and that's outside. And it's 2 balls and no strikes. Larson Family Funeral Home and the Silman Larson Funeral Home have dedicated themselves to the highest level of personal services that only a family-owned and operated funeral home can provide. Larson Family Funeral Home, Silman Larson Funeral Home, Fennimore and Montfort. There's a bunt right to the plate. Throw to first is just in time. So a 5-3 sacrifice. Nelson gets to second. Here's Nedland, who grounded to second in the first, RBI single in the third, and walked in the 5th. Those were all against Ethan Scheckler, obviously, and Nedland will be intentionally walked. That makes it, well, first base is open, so that makes sense in that way. Evenstad struck out looking in the first and the third, and then flied to right in the 5th. And that first pitch popped up behind second. Infield fly rule is called, and 2 away. Rathel grounded to second in the second. Singled and scored in the 4th, grounded to second in the 6th. 2 away, top of the 7th inning. And a 2-1 lead for Westby, and that's a called strike. Again, 8-9-1 batters due up in the bottom of the 7th inning for the Eagles. That's grounded to second. Filardo drops it, picks it up, throws to first, and in time. Good job by the freshman Filardo. After he dropped the ball, he still had he finished the play, basically. 1 walk, actually 2 walks. One of them was intentional, and 2 left. We go to the bottom of the 7th. 2-1 Westby on Super Hits 106.
In game 14.
Menards has all the tools and fasteners you need to finish your home improvement project. Whether you need standard nails for general construction or specialty nails for specific applications, you'll find them here. New Fast nails are made in the USA with the highest quality steel and have superior holding power. Check out our entire selection of New Fast nails in store today and see the rest of our deals in our flyer on menards.com.
Dear Diary, this is Veronica from the Bell Tower Theater's Heather the Musical Teen Edition. My story is based on the cult classic movie and is a deliciously dark comedy about high school in the 80s. Featuring area high school students, Heather's the Musical Teen Edition runs from June 13th to the 22nd. Tickets are just $15. To see me, JD, and all of the Heathers, call 563-588-3377 or visit belltowertheater.net. Thanks to the Iowa Arts Council and Tyson's for their support.
In game 14.
Bottom of the 7th, 2-1 Westby over Fennimore in the Osseo Fairchild sectional final. Falardo, Kinney, and Starkey, the 8-9-1 batters in the bottom of the 7th inning. Fennimore needs 1 to tie and 2 to go to state. Falardo singled in the second, reached on an error in the 4th inning, so he's been on base twice, and he takes ball 1. Against relief pitcher Gavin Larson, trying for his 3rd save of the year, and that's a chopper to short, and dropped, and that's going to put Falardo at first. An error, charged to the shortstop, Nelson. That is the 3rd error of the game by the Norse. And the tying run at first, Kenny singled in the 2nd, struck out looking in the 4th. And you would think certainly that this will be a bunt situation coming up here. Falardo, 10 of 15 in stolen bases coming into this day of sectional baseball. And Kenny does bunt, and bunts a pop-up to first, and it rolls. Oh, it's a fair ball! It's a fair ball! And Carey is aboard. The ball just stopped on the first baseline halfway down. And so, 1st and 2nd and nobody out. I guess that the lack of dirt between home and first, it just stopped right on the paint. And 2 aboard and nobody out in the bottom of the 7th inning. That is the 4th error for Fennimore. And they now, Westby. They now have 4. Back to the top of the order, and Tyson Starkey. And before that, a mound conference as they figure out what they want to do defensively as John Hamilton comes out. Kenny goes back to first. He's the winning run, and Falardo at 2nd. And I have to think that you're not going to see perhaps as aggressive as approach as Fennimore had in the 6th, where they had 2 runners thrown out at the plate. Top of the order in Starkey, who drove in the game-winning run in the first game. He bunts it. It's high, ball 1. He grounded to short in the first, grounded to third in the second. Got hit by a pitch thrown out of the plate in the 5th. And there's the bunt, and it's a good one. That ball's going to die on the left side of the infield, and the bases are loaded. A bunt single for Starkey. And the bases are loaded with nobody out, and here's Yankee Fiedler. Grounded back to the pitcher in the 1st, struck out looking in the 3rd, back to the pitcher in the 5th. Bases loaded, nobody out, 2-1 Westby, bottom of the 7th inning. Tying run at 3rd, the winning run at 2nd base. And to move them along, Starkey with a tremendous sacrifice bunt single. And a swing and a miss by Yaki Fiedler for strike one. Setting up outside, the 0-1 pitch, called strike. That's 0-2. The Fennimore fans are incensed at that call. 0-2 with nobody out and the bases loaded in the bottom of the seventh. Here's the 0-2. Went with it and pops it up on the infield, and the catch made by the first baseman Hovind, 1 out. Bases loaded and 1 out, and here's Scheckler. Singled in the first, doubled in the third, popped to the second baseman in the fifth. Again, the tying run, Filardo at third, the winning run, Kinney at second, and Starkey at first. What an appropriate moment for Ethan Scheckler, the player of the year in the Southwest Wisconsin Activities League. First pitch upstairs for ball one. There is obviously nowhere to put him. 2-1 Westby, 1 out, bottom of the seventh. The 1-0 pitch, outside 2-0. Fennimore 2 runs away from going to state. Westby 2 outs away from going to state. Here's the 2-0 pitch. 3-0. Well, you have to think, even as great a hitter as Scheckler is, there is a take sign that is about the size of Osseo right here. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Ball 4! And the game is tied! Scheckler with an RBI, bases loaded walk. The game is tied at 2. Kinney moves to third. Starkey to second. And now McCoy Miles struck out looking in the first, flied to right in the third, and then doubled but was thrown out at the plate in the sixth inning. And let's see what we're going to do here. Pinch runner coming in for Scheckler. Or actually, he's going to third base. And the pinch runner is Cooper Imhoff. And so Imhoff, the pinch runner, Grant Biba, meanwhile, is the courtesy runner for Scheckler at first because he's the catcher now. But Imhoff, they're both pinch runners, all right. Imhoff, the winning run at third base. And Miles at the plate. Bases loaded, 1 out, tied at 2. And the pitch grounded to short. The throw to the plate. He's out. Bang, bang play at the plate. And 2 away. Everybody else moves up. Starkey is at third. Yankee Fiedler, Biba is at second. Miles now at first after the fielder's choice. Casey Drayson walked and scored in the second. Popped to second in the third. Singled in the sixth. Bases loaded, 2 out. A 2-2 tie in the bottom of the seventh inning. The winning run at third. Swing and a miss. Strike one. Well, Fennimore has at least forced extra innings. You're certainly used to that today. Here is the 0-1 pitch. And it's hit to the right side, and the throw to first is in time. So a 4-3 putout. Westby gets out of a bases-loaded jam, but Fennimore ties the game. on one hit and an error, leaves the bases loaded. And for the second time today, we have free baseball coming up. Westby 2, Fennimore 2 after 7 innings. And I have to keep it here. So this will be a good opportunity for me to tell you that today's game is brought to you by Midwest Builders Incorporated of Fennimore, specializing in commercial and light industrial construction, building lasting relationships in the Tri-State area since 1992. Midwest Builders Incorporated in Fennimore. Interested in braces or clear aligners? Summer is the perfect time to start your smile transformation. Denlinger Orthodontics in Platteville offers complimentary consultations and specializes in orthodontic treatment for kids, teens, and adults. Denlinger Orthodontics. Subs.com, fuel your fitness journey with a wide selection of products from a locally owned company. Visit their Fennimore, Dubuque, and Platteville locations and subs.com. Making sure I check off everything here. Mountain City Bank's Total Line of Credit allows you to use the equity in your home to do the things you want. Stop in at Mountain City Bank to apply. Offer subject to approval. Member FDIC and an equal housing lender. Learn more at MountainCityBank.com. We're brought to you by Ritchie Implement and Comp, Barneveld, Darlington, and Lancaster. See your inventory and employment opportunities at Ritchie'sINC.com. Community First Bank, for you in the communities where you live, work, and play. Experience for yourself the difference at Community First Bank, CFBank.com, member FDIC. And that takes care of that. To the top of the 8th inning. Beckett Brigham, who started the game behind the plate and is now in left field, will lead off in the 8th, struck out in the 2nd, sacrificed in the 4th, singled in the 6th inning. Swing and a miss for strike 1. Westby 2 runs, 6 hits, 4 errors. Fennimore 2 runs, 7 hits, 1 error. That's high, 1 ball and 1 strike. Fennimore with a run in the 2nd. Westby with a run in the 3rd and in the 4th. And Fennimore with a run on a bases-loaded walk in the bottom of the 7th inning. We're tied at 2 and still playing. And that's a called strike, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the 1-2 upstairs, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Fennimore, after all that, will now have the 6, 7, 8 batters due up. Actually, it'd be helpful to go to the right side. The hit to left, and that'll drop for a base hit. And digging for 2 and getting there will be Brigham. Leadoff double in the 8th for Brigham. That's the go-ahead run. Here's Everett Hoven, struck out in the 2nd. RBI single in the 4th, walked in the 6th inning. First pitch upstairs for ball 1 as Hoven was bunting. Fennimore in the game, they have had 3 runners thrown out at the plate, including in the 7th inning, though it should be pointed out, that was just a force out because the bases were loaded at that point. There's the bunt, popped up, and caught by Scheckler. 1 out. And Brugan's still at second base. Here's Quellhorst, infield single and scored in the 3rd, struck out in the 4th, struck out in the 6th. Go ahead run at second with 1 out. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. As the shadows start to lengthen, as we're almost to 5:30 here. That pitch is upstairs, 1 ball and 1 strike. Drayson, since he came in, has been throwing a lot of high pitches. 1-1 with 1 out. No real move from second. which you wouldn't expect at that point anyway. The 1-1 outside 2-1. Dreesen again was the winning pitcher in the first game today. 2-1. And that's grounded. Hit the right center field. Ball will drop, and everybody's safe. First and third. So that'll be an error. Bruggen will move to third. Second error of the game on the Eagles. And here's Larson, Micah Larson, struck out looking in the third inning. Fly to left in the fifth, fly to center in the, actually right field in the sixth inning. Brent Scheckler coming out. And I would have to think this is just about what do you do about the runner at third to make sure he doesn't score? Because you would certainly think that they'll send the runner, or they have the option of sending Quellhorst from first to make sure that you probably have to give him the stolen base in that situation. Because otherwise Bruggen is going to take off for the plate from third base. First and third, one out, 2-2 tie, top of the eighth inning. Here's the first pitch. That's a called strike. Larson stepped out, now steps back in. And the pitch now, he bunts. And that is going to be a tag at the plate as Scheckler grabbed it and tagged the runner coming home. 2 out. Larson gets aboard on a fielder's choice. And now, no, they're going to say it was a foul ball. It was a foul ball. Foul ball. Swing and a miss, strike three. And the inning is over. So they did take the runner for the second out, and then Larson strikes out, and Fennimore gets out of a major jam. A hit and an error, but one left.
71 pitches.
And so we go to the bottom of the eighth inning, and it will be Corey Dreesen, Henkel, and Filardo, with the game still tied at 2. So in the last 2 innings, we've had 4 runners thrown out at the plate. And a bunch of base runners left on. Let's see here. Fennimore has left 9 runners on base, and Westby has left 10 runners on base. So this is Cuba City writ large for both teams in this sectional final. Again, the winner, hey, goes to state. There is a new schedule for state, by the way. They finally decided to stop trying to play the whole state tournament in 3 days, with games running from 8 in the morning to allegedly 8:30 at night on the first 2 days. And, you know, what happened was that they kept having the second Division II semifinal start around midnight because there's 2 things that would mess up that schedule, obviously. Long games and rain delays. Casey Dreesen will lead off. Struck out looking in the second, grounded to the pitcher in the fourth, reached on a fielder's choice in the sixth, and to quote the late, great Cubs announcer Jack Brickhouse, any old kind of run wins it for Fennimore. Here's the first pitch. That's a called strike. So this is the, 16th inning that Fennimore has played today. They won the first game 2-1 and 8. And that's hit to left field. And caught. Not caught. It is caught. Let me try one more time. Not caught. It's a base hit. So Drayson, the winning run at first. Based on the reaction, it wasn't clear that he hadn't necessarily not fielded it. So at any rate, the winning run, here's Henkel running run at first. Henkel will bunt, and it's a great bunt down the third base line. The throw to first is in time. Great job by Henkel. That's as good as it gets as far as a bunt. That moves Drayson to second. Now Filardo. RBI single in the second, reached on an error in the fourth, walked and scored. Actually reached on an error and scored in the seventh inning. He's been on base all 3 times. Winning run at second with 1 out. Hit fouled on the right field line for strike 1. 2, 7, and 5 for Westby. 2, 7, and 2 for Fennimore. Here's the 0-1. And dropped at the plate, and fortunately the catcher Rathel blocked it so that it didn't get behind him. Otherwise that puts Drayson at third. 1 ball, 1 strike with 1 out. Here's the pitch. Fouled off, right side, out of play. Another Cuba City collision repair foul ball. 1 and 2 with 1 out. They're playing shaded over to left and the center fielder. And the 1-2, back up the middle! And a base hit. Getting to third and holding there is Drayson. So Filardo again with a base hit. And now it's going to be up to Kinney.
Next up, the center fielder, number 9, Jude Kinney.
Kinney singled in the second, struck out looking in the fourth, and singled in the seventh inning, but was thrown out at the plate. First and third. Now, first and third with 1 out. They're having a debate here in the press box. Do you walk him? I suppose you could. You certainly could, because that would make a play anywhere on the bases. Runner goes, and the pitch is a ball. Now they might walk him after that. Stolen base without a throw for Filardo. 1 ball, no strikes. The winning run, the only one that counts, is Drayson at third. Called strike on the outside corner, and it's 1-1. Corey Drayson, the winning run at third. Filardo at second. He just pushes him along. If Kinney gets on, that's outside. And they count 2 balls and 1 strike. Fennimore trying for its first state berth ever. The 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss at what would have been ball 3, and it's 2-2 with 1 out. If Kinney gets out, I have to think Starkey's going to be walked. Here's the 2-2 pitch. 3-2. Kinney obviously would love a walk to load the bases and make them pitch to Starkey. 3-2 with 1 out. Ball 4. And the bases are loaded. Again, here's Starkey, grounded to short in the first, grounded to third in the second. Hit by a pitch in the fifth. Infield single in the seventh. And again, no place to put him. 1 out, bases loaded, but the only run that counts is Corey Drayson at third base, 2-2, bottom of the 8th. Called strike. One strike. Runners with short leads. Here's the 0-1. And back up the middle, base hit! Fennimore scoring a state! An RBI single for Starkey. And the Fennimore Golden Eagles are going to make their first trip to state. The Golden Eagles win 3-2 in 8 innings. And they will play in the Division III semifinals at Fox City Stadium in Grand Chute, depending on what their seating is, etc. And the Westby Norseman season comes to an end at 24-6. And the Golden Eagles, what a day they've had. 2 8-inning wins. They won the first game over Cuba City 2-1 in 8 innings. And they beat Westby 3-2 in 8 innings. And for the first time in the history of Fennimore baseball, the Golden Eagles are going to state. We will hang around to watch and listen to the brief awards ceremony. For those interested, the championship, the state tournament, again, will be, in the case of Division III, will be Tuesday at either 2 or 4:30 for the pregame show.
Number 1, Jaden Johnson.
Depending on the seating for the Golden Eagles, and the state championship game will be at noon Thursday. If Fennimore gets, it'll be. Let me correct myself. 12:30 Thursday, and if Fennimore wins, we'll be there. We know we're going Tuesday. Station to be determined on the Queen Bee Radio Sports, or on the Queen Bee family of stations.
Number 4, Micah Larson.
My goodness. Fennimore goes to state 3-2 in 8 innings over Westby. And as I said, we'll hang around for the awards.
Gavin Larson.
And then we'll take a break after that. 3 runs, 8 hits, 2 errors for Fennimore. 2 runs, 7 hits, 5 errors for Westby. Fennimore got a run in the second, Westby a run in the third, and in the fourth, Fennimore in the bottom of the seventh on a bases loaded walk, and then a bases loaded base hit in the bottom of the 8th inning. And for the first time in Fennimore history, the Golden Eagles are going to state.
Number 10, Kalen Rudai.
And what a day for the Golden Eagles.
Number 11,
might as well give you the tricolor turning point, which is incredibly obvious. Although there were some interesting second choices, all of the guys throw it out at the plate, but second place, obviously, the bases loaded walk in the 7th inning that tied the game. The winner, of course, the bases loaded single by Tyson Starkey that scored Corey Drayson in the bottom of the 8th inning.
And number 15, Ben Rachel.
That won the game and won the state, won the Osseo Fairchild Sectional. And for the very first time, Brent Scheckler, 20 years as the coach, he had mentioned before that they had not gotten to the sectional level in 10 years. And I think he mentioned that when they got to the sectional in 2015, they got beat by Westby. But today, It was the Eagles' day, even if they had to work overtime. And now the awards go out for the Golden Eagles. And, of course, Nate Byer from GX3 Media is there to get all the photos. We hope to talk to Brent Scheckler, although I don't have anybody to ask him to come up here.
Number 2,
maybe we could get Tyson Starkey if we can figure out some way to do that. Maybe not also, but obviously we will be heading to Fox City Stadium on Tuesday for the Division III state tournament. Before that, of course, we have state softball, coming up on Thursday, Division 5, 4th seed Ithaca, number 1 seed Belmont, 8:30 Thursday on 97.7 Country WGLR. And then 4 o'clock start for the Division III semifinal, 3rd seed Mineral Point and 2nd seed Michigan, also on 97.7 Country WGLR. And if we hope both, but if either of those teams win, we will be back at Goodman Diamond at UW-Madison bright and early, I guarantee you, because the State Division V Championship is at 8 Saturday morning. We'll be there if Belmont is there. We'll be there if Mineral Point is there. And regardless, we will definitely be heading there on Thursday for the state tournament. And then we got one more state tournament coming up on Tuesday with Fennimore playing for the very first time in school history up at Fox Cities Stadium. And again, that schedule will be, it'll be determined once they know who the field is. And the broadcast will start either at 2 or 4:30 on Tuesday, station to be determined on the Queen Bee family of radio stations. Brock Hinkle getting his award.
Number 22, Noah Needham.
Again, it was the bottom of the 7th walk, bases loaded walk that tied the game, and a bases loaded base hit in the bottom of the 8th inning that clinched Fennimore's very first trip to state.
Number 25, Ethan Scheckler.
Eagles are now, as Ethan Scheckler gets a huge hand, and he should. Eagles 25-3.
Number 27,
and as mentioned, Westby, which had a tremendous season, but their season comes to an end at 24-6. And as you know, we know, of course, how hard losing the sectional final is in any sport. And then to lose it in an extra inning game where you had a lead going into the bottom of the 7th, that's really rough. So you got to feel for the Norse and their fans.
And number 39, Reed Salzberg.
And so that concludes the players. And next, Brent Scheckler will be coming out.
Coach Brent Scheckler come forward to receive.
I suspect there will be photos to take, so it may be difficult to get people up here to talk to him in the postgame. We'd sure like to do that, obviously. We'll get one more chance to talk to Brent as he holds the plaque up because we're going to have a pregame show for state. And the players come over and mob their coach, Brent Scheckler. And Fennimore goes to state 3-2 in 8 innings over Westby. Edward Jones, Reeves Wealth Management postgame show after these messages on Super Hits 106.
Post-match 1.
It is time for the Edward Jones Reeves Wealth Management post-game show. Edward Jones is a financial services firm serving individuals and business owners. Is your money working as hard as it should be? This is Elena Reeves with Edward Jones. If you want to provide for your children's education, reduce your tax bill, or prepare for a comfortable retirement, we need to talk. Today, more than ever, your financial security deserves the attention of full-time financial advisors. Take advantage of our years of experience. Contact financial advisors Elena or Ben Reeves at 608-348-2441 or stop by our office on Highways 80 and 81 in Platteville next to Sups Nutrition. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
Hello, my name is Andrea Delzell, and I've been using a wheelchair since I was 5 years old. If I had one message for the general public, it would be relax. Some folks get really flustered around disabled people, so they just pretend we're not there. I've actually had waiters talk to my companion and completely ignore me. People with disabilities just want the same respect and consideration as everyone else.
This is a message from United Spinal Association. Download our disability etiquette booklet at unitedspinal.org.
You want to give your baby everything, so start with a safe sleep area. Babies younger than 1 should always be placed to sleep on their backs on a firm and flat surface like a safety-approved crib. And keep blankets, pillows, and other soft or loose items out of the crib when the baby is in it. Learn more about safe sleep for babies at safetoSleep.nichd.nih.gov. Sponsored by the Eunice Kennedy Shriver National Institute of Child Health and Human Development.
Post-match 1.
Carey Regional Health Center and People's State Bank coverage of WIA Playoff Baseball, presented by Cuba City, Kieler, and Darlington Family Dental, and Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors on Super Hits 106, and on the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel, powered by Tim Slack Auction and Realty, and H&N Plumbing, Heating, and Electrical. No one has ever said this before, but the Fennimore Golden Eagles are headed to the state baseball tournament for the first time in school history. They won this afternoon. Earlier this afternoon in the sectional semifinal, 2-1 over Cuba City in 8 innings. And then in the sectional final, they come from behind and beat Westby 3-2 in 8 innings. And so Fennimore will play in the State Division III semifinal, one of the two of them, Tuesday afternoon. We'll have whichever one they're in, obviously, in the Queen Bee family of radio stations someplace. I could have a guess, but I'm not going to tell you just in case I'm wrong. And if Fennimore wins, they'll go to the State Division III Championship next Thursday, which would be a 12:30 start. The Division III semifinal is slated for 2:30 or 5 up at Fox City Stadium. And if you have not been to Fox City Stadium, you really need to see it. It's one of the premier minor league baseball parks in the entire country and always has been since it opened in 1995. They've just gotten the photo of the team, and I'm not sure if they'll be coming back up here or not. Hang on a second. Let's see if that got him. He's talking to somebody else here. I think we'll take a break here. Again, 3-2 in 8 innings. Fennimore beats Westby to go to state. More after this on Super Hits 106.
Post-match 2.
It's been said that when someone you love has Parkinson's, you have Parkinson's.
The Parkinson's Foundation knows that the disease doesn't just affect the diagnosed. It affects everyone who supports and helps care for them.
If you have questions, the Parkinson's Foundation has answers.
We can help you understand the disease
and give you tips for living a better life.
Find your answers at parkinson.org or call 1-800-473-4636. The Parkinson's Foundation. Better lives together.
These are the sounds of a dinner. A dinner that almost didn't happen. A dinner now served, thanks to people like you. Due to COVID-19, 17 million more Americans may face hunger. Feeding America is helping our neighbors in need. And if you're able, you can too. Donations are being accepted at feedingamerica.org/coronavirus. Brought to you by the Ad Council and Feeding America. 200 food banks strong.
Post-match 2.
Grant Regional Health Center and People's State Bank coverage of WIA Playoff Baseball, presented by Cuba City, Kieler, Darlington Family Dental, and Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors on Super Hits 106 and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. Powered by Tim Slack Auction Realty and H&N Plumbing, Heating, and Electrical. Players are coming this way, and so is their coach, Brent Scheckler. Fennimore goes to state 3-2 in 8 innings over Westby after a 2-1 8-inning win over Cuba City in the sectional semifinal. Brent Scheckler now joins us. How many years have you aged today?
Oh, yeah, that's a great question. I've aged a lot today. My goodness, that is 2 wild baseball games today.
Yeah, that's not like, oh yeah, we wanted to go to state. That's like nail biting or down going into the bottom of the 7th, walk in a run to tie the game, and then get the bases loaded single in the bottom of the 8th. about as dramatic as it gets.
In the 7th, they were in that great situation. And then we had the 1st and 3rd with nobody out the inning before. And I'll be honest, I mean, we've been catching every rake imaginable, and I've been saying this thing's been destined for 2 months now, but I had my doubts after we got that 1st and 3rd there and didn't score. So,
yeah, and you had, it was kind of, the last couple of innings were really strange with all of those runners thrown out at the plate, you guys and Westby also.
Well, when we finally got in a position, which we couldn't do in Cuba at all, and put some pressure, I don't know for sure, obviously I can't think of anything right now, but we must have had 3 or 4 months for base hits. And once we were able to start doing those things, got those leadoff runners on, and Westby did help us on a couple errors, I think, to get some guys on. But we took advantage. We got a really good baseball club. And these guys, for as much talent they have, they got a hell of a lot more heart. Unbelievable.
And, that list of heart has to start with your pitchers today.
Oh, I mean, all 3 of them were just fantastic. I mean, Starkey in the first game throws another 7 scoreless against Cuba, gets out of all of those jams. Casey comes in, throws a huge inning. I mean, Ethan pitched a great game. They got a couple timely hits and a couple, I think maybe we had an error, something I don't remember. And then Casey to come in and finish it up like that.
He got 2 wins today, right?
You're right. Casey did get 2 wins. and Tyson Starkey got 2 walk-off wins.
That's right.
I bet you don't see that happen too often.
No, absolutely. So
our pitching staff has just been phenomenal. I mean, we're going to state, so it's obvious, but we have a pitching staff like nobody else, like nothing I've ever seen before.
Yeah,
that 3-headed monster is just incredible.
Absolutely, and it got you to state basically. What do you think this week's going to be like, or the next 4 days? It is a week. Yes.
I finally went in today, and I wasn't nervous. I didn't feel any pressure. I mean, I get nervous about every game, every year. And I finally, once we got through New Glarus last week, coming up here, we were free rolling, and I just didn't feel nervous. And now so I don't know. I don't know what I feel like, but I'm just excited. I've been coaching for 20 years, and this is my first trip to Appleton. So I'm just gonna enjoy it. Well, obviously, got to work on our hitting a little bit. Our hitting was a little rough today,
but your pitching made everybody else's hitting rough also.
That is a fact. Absolutely. Yep.
Okay. Well, congratulations. If you can flag some players up there, we got one more commercial left. We can.
You want me to get some guys up?
Oh yeah, maybe.
We'll start with Starkey. How about that? Yeah. My goodness.
Starkey and maybe Casey.
Yeah, let's get Casey up there. You've had enough of Ethan on the radio lately, so I know you don't need him.
All right, congratulations.
Thanks, Steve. I really appreciate it.
Once again,
I'll go send him up.
All right, great. Thanks a lot. Fennimore wins 3-2 in 8 innings, and we'll go to state next Tuesday. We will be back with more from Osseo after these messages on Super Hits 106.
Post-match 3.
Over 2.8 million Americans have served in our military since 9/11. Many have returned home with devastating injuries and few resources for them and their families. This is news correspondent Bob Woodruff. I sustained a life-threatening injury while reporting from Iraq in 2006. The military had my back that day, and they have each other's while serving. It's time we had theirs. Please join us as part of the Got Your Six initiative. To learn more, go to gotyoursix.org using the number 6.
Get it, slip it, cuff it, check it. Talk to doctor now and share it.
Nearly 1 in 2 U.S. adults have high blood pressure. That's why it's important to self-monitor your blood pressure in 4 easy-to-remember steps. It starts with a monitor. Be next to talk to your doctor about your blood pressure numbers. Get down with your blood pressure. Self-monitoring is power. Visit managerbp.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council, the American Heart Association, and the American Medical Association, in partnership with the Office of Minority Health and Health Resources and Services Administration.
Post-match 3.
Grant Regional Health Center and People's State Bank coverage of high school baseball presented by Cuba City, Kieler, and Darlington Family Dental with Carey Seamless Gutters Over and Doors on Super Hits 106 and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel, powered by Tim Slack Auction and Realty and H&M Plumbing, Heating, and Electrical. For the first time in school history, Fennimore goes to state 3-2 in 8 innings over Westby, and we are joined by 2 guys who may have done something that's never been done at Fennimore High School besides go to state. So introduce yourself to the world.
I'm Tyson Starkey. I'm a senior.
I'm Casey Drayson. I'm a junior.
First question, Tyson. Have you ever had 2 walk-off hits in one day before?
I don't know if I've ever had a walk-off before in general.
Seriously?
Seriously.
Okay. Casey, have you ever won 2 games in relief in one day before?
No, I can't say I've ever done that before. That's pretty cool.
Well, it is, and obviously to do something that's never happened in Fennimore before is tremendous. Don't look at this question the wrong way, but I have a question for you. How do you feel like you pitched today? Because it seemed quite dramatic out there that you got into trouble and got out of trouble and all that.
Yeah, I mean, of course you don't want to get in trouble. That's never fun, but I put us in a position to win, and that's all I can hope to do. So,
and that's
no complaints on my end.
Well, I don't think anybody's going to complain, other than the people who have chest pains from watching the...
Yeah, no kidding. I think I have some chest pains, too.
All right, and Tyson, so you started the first game.
Yep.
Great pitching performance. You leave with no decision, but obviously, talk about your first walk-off first this morning, or early this afternoon.
My first walk-off, I was just going up there, and I'm trying to send it to the outfield, and I feel like Gianni, our freshman, would have scored from third base either way. It just happened to drop.
And, I mean, he's been tremendous for you guys, hasn't he?
He was very clutch. He's been clutch all playoffs, and we just keep telling him to have fun because the pressure's not on him, and he's really using that energy. So.
Yeah, absolutely. So now here you are, bottom of the 8th inning. You've already had runners thrown out at the plate a couple of times. It's bases loaded. Mm-hmm. That guy third comes home, and you win. What's that like?
Undescribable. I stepped up, and I just tried to hit the ball as hard as I could. It happened to go right up the middle, make it through. I never had that much adrenaline in my life stepping onto first base.
And as a senior, obviously you know that any loss you have
it's my last one.
Is going to be the last one. And, if you look at the games you've played, 9-8, 4-2.
Oh, I know.
2-1-8, 3-2-8. It's not like you're living. It's like you're living on the edge.
Yeah, but maybe that's going to train us well for state. Make all those close, pressure-filled moments. We're going to thrive in those now, hopefully.
Yeah. Okay. And you started all this last week. You got the win against Lancaster. Kind of a messy game, 4 errors and all of that. But obviously, you guys have really cleaned it up since then.
Yeah. We've played a lot better baseball, and when we clean up our defense, we tend to win games pretty easily. I mean, not today, of course, but yeah, the New Glarus game, especially when we played phenomenal defense, it puts us in a great position to win. So I think that should be a priority going forward.
Yeah, definitely. So just in a general sense, you don't know yet who you're going to play because the other games are not done, and field has to be seeded and all of that. But what do you feel like you guys have to do to go to state?
Obviously, just play a clean defense the rest of the way, and our pitching staff has done the bulk of the work this year, so as long as we keep throwing strikes and forcing batters to put the ball in play against us, I mean, that's all we can really do, and it seems to be working out in our favor this year.
Yeah, most definitely. What do you think?
I would say that hitting is our biggest thing. We struggled to get the bats going. We're hitting the ball hard. We just need more line drives, popping up the ball too much. We'll figure that out and be ready at state.
Okay, one more question. What's this mean to you guys? You're a senior. You're going to end your career at state. You're not, because you're a junior, but here's a chance. You're going to be doing something on Tuesday. No Fennimore team. There have been good teams over the years, but no Fennimore team's ever done that.
It means the world to us as a team. I mean, we've spent a lot of long nights, long hours working towards this, and for it to all finally come together, it's indescribable. It's awesome to do something that's never been done in school history before.
Absolutely.
We got a great group of guys that all want it, and that's all we need, and I'm really excited to go to state and play with this team specifically. Any other team, it wouldn't mean as much to me, but this team, it means a lot.
Okay, congratulations, guys. Casey Drayson and Ty Starkey. It's like 3.5 hours to get back to, or 3 hours to get back to Fennimore. It's not going to feel that long, I think, in your case.
I think we're going to be celebrating all the way home.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely.
And you guys don't have to drive back. Yeah. Okay.
It's going to be a fun ride.
Yeah, I would think so. Congratulations once again. We'll see you up in Appleton. Thanks again. Casey Drayson and Tyson Starkey of the Fennimore Golden Eagles, who are going to state for the first time in school history after their 3-2 8-inning win over Westby to win the sectional final for the very first time in school history. On the Shoebox Scoreboard, presented by the Shoebox in Black Earth, the largest independent shoe store in the Midwest, we'll run down everything that has happened today. Highland in Division 4 beat Boscobel 9-2, then lost to Pittsville 13-3 in 5 innings. So their season is all over. And in addition, Belmont, a loser today earlier to Johnson Creek 8-4. Those games on 97.7 Country WGLR and Extreme, one more time, X107 won. Congratulations to the Bulldogs and the Cardinals and the Braves. Braves winners of the Six Rivers, and the Cardinals and the Bulldogs were playing at the sectional level, and very few people thought that was going to happen. So congratulations to both of those teams. And today here at Osseo, let's see, Fennimore beat Cuba City 2-1 in 8 innings in this afternoon semifinal, and then beats Westby 3-2 in 8 innings. I don't know if nobody off the top of my head, I don't remember anybody who won 2 sectional games and extra innings to go to state like this. It's just an amazing day for the Golden Eagles, and it's been an amazing season. And thanks to their late inning heroics today, it's not over, because the Golden Eagles will play either at 2:30 or 5 on Tuesday up at Fox City Stadium. And we'll have that for you, I guarantee that, on the Queen Bee family of radio stations. But before that, we'll have state softball coming up on Thursday, beginning in Division 5, Ithaca and Belmont, starting at 8:30, yes, on 97.7 Country WGLR in Division 5. And in Division 4, Merrill Point and Michigan, that broadcast starts at 4 on 97.7 Country WGLR coming up on Thursday. And then Tuesday, state for baseball up at Fox City Stadium on the Queen Bee family of radio stations. Let's see here. Before all of that, we do have Brewers baseball, by the way, and that's coming up on AM 1590 WPVL, the Brewers and Atlanta, and other baseball coming up, and state baseball coming up next week after state softball Thursday, and we hope on Saturday. RJ Osterhaus is our sports director. Dave Murphy is our program director. Johnny Page is our chief engineer. Rob Spangler is our technical director. Everything worked today. Tyler DeCantis, Mr. Streaming, fix it when necessary. Thanks to Andrew Jepson and the staff at Osseo Fairchild High School. A great place they have here. It was a lot of fun today, and if it wasn't a 3.5-hour trip, it'd be more fun. But it was a great day today. Nobody from Fennimore cares how long the trip was today, I guarantee you that. Thanks to all of our sponsors who help us bring this game to you, and thank you for joining us. Grant Regional Health Center and People's State Bank coverage of WI Playoff Baseball, presented by Cuba City, Kieler, and Darlington Family Dental and Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors, is a Queen Bee radio sports presentation on Super Hits 106 KIYX, Sageville, Dubuque, and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel, powered by Tim Slack Auction and Realty and H&M Plumbing, Heating, and Electrical. Fennimore beats Cuba City 2-1 in 8 innings to win the sectional semifinal, and then Fennimore beats Westby 3-2 in 8 innings. Bases loaded walk in the bottom of the 7th tied the game, and a bases loaded single by Tyson Starkey won the game in the bottom of the 8th inning. The Golden Eagles go to state for the first time in school history. From the Wolf Construction broadcast booth, I'm Steve Prestegard. Music that I grew up listening to is next. We'll see you for state softball Thursday and state baseball Tuesday.
This has been a Queen Bee Radio High School Sports presentation.
Dubuque Super Hits 106 is KIYX Sageville, Dubuque, a Queen Bee radio station. On air at 106.1 and online at superhits106.com.
All the songs I love.